welcome to the NX podcast. I am your host, The Red Knight, and thank you for joining me. I see you in the chat, Digital Green Tea, Jack Gates, listening at work. So you eating now? Enjoy the meal. Enjoy what's about to happen. So, yeah, uh, what a week, what a year. It's been the same thing every single podcast, man. Every single time I come on these, shows to record one of these, it feels like it's the same thing. The same thing. And it's not like this is just starting this year. It's been since last year too, and the year before that, and the year before that. Like, yeah, there's a lot of focus on it right now because of the back to back, like, of constantly hearing, oh, layoffs at this place, layoffs at that place, layoffs at this place, and it just feels like it's been like I don't know, like just a tight release schedule. Let's just say that. And I ain't talking game releases. I'm talking creator. Which, well, yeah, it is game releases because you won't be getting many games if we don't got people making them. It's just, the math ain't mathing right. But we're gonna get into all of that. Every time I start one of these podcasts, it feels like now I gotta, do the whole thing about how much it sucks. That these people got fired from this place, that place, this place, that place, this place. And at this point, it's like, I don't know, like I said, I've been doing this for so long that I'm just tight about it right now. I'm just mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not anything else I could say. So Sony had what was it? 900, almost 1,000 people let go from over there, and EA just announced. Funny because I had to update the show notes because EA announced that they letting go of a ton of people. At this point, does the number even matter when it's every single year? Because last year they did it at this time EA, and now they did it again this year, and it just makes me wonder, like, how do you make games comfortably? You know what I'm saying? Creatively, if you worried about am I next on the chopping block, it just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And there's been a lot of things said about this, and I don't know if the things that I'm going to say about this is, something you've heard, but it probably won't be because, well, y'all know how I do. And again, this is not my first rodeo, so I'm not going to pretend it is. I don't want to do the whole spiel of, oh, how sad it, like, you already know what it is. You know how corny it is that you got, $3 trillion Microsoft firing people. And it's like, oh, yeah, because they bought a company. Yeah. And everybody says that like if that justifies it, or that's like a nice way to wave it off. Oh, they just bought a company. All right, cool. Sony didn't just buy a company, and they just fired people from all your favorite studios. I don't even want to go down the list. I just don't. Like, all your favorite studios. Put it like that. That's the best way to fucking put it. You know what I'm saying? When this generation started, I said all these things about PlayStation. And I got so much shit for it. So much shit for it. And everything I said, yo, who gonna make your games if they just wiped the whole Japan? Who gonna make your games? Oh, those games ain't mad at those games didn't sound like that. Those games that they just shut down the whole London studio, right? And then people there was like this tweet going around of like everything they've made over the years. And whatever. It wasn't Uncharted and God of Wars and Horizons and you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the big boys. But then you got people, oh, nothing of worth was lost. Nothing. All right, so what about the people who do Last of Us? You got Last of Us factions canceled after years of promising that shit. Breath of the Wild was a promised game. That open world's other game. And we got Twilight Princess and we got Wind Waker HD as they were, prepping for that game. Learning the hardware, learning HD. We know this history already, right? And we got the game. Metroid Prime 4 was a game that was promised. The day that they revealed that game, I said, good luck to Japan, because you're going to have the toughest job in the world, because ain't nobody in this industry ever make a Metroid Prime game. Nobody. Nothing's come close ever. Y'all have heard me argue about this 1,000 times. Not BioShock, not nothing. It's one of one. It's one of one in the same way Fortnite right here is one of one. Straight up. You can say, oh, there's other battle royals. Which one is Fortnite? Which one is like Fortnite? Which one scratch that itch the same way? None. None. And I play multiple. I've played Apex. I play Warzone still religiously. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, dude. One of one. And what happened? That team couldn't do it. So then what happened? They gave it back to Retro. And they promised that game throughout a whole generation. We're going to talk about that game later. But that game was promised to us. And it's still coming. Factions got canceled. Now they doing who knows what. I mean, could they be doing that Uncharted and The Last of Us at the same time? I don't know. But you don't got that many people over there now. You just fired more people. Like, cancel the game. Like, yo, the energy over there automatically gotta be off. I don't care who you are, how high you are on the totem pole. And then, you know, like, this is something that I wanted to say before I saw Neil Druckmann actually talking about he might be done with big games. Not done with games, just done with big games. And I'm just like, yeah, because he probably like, look at all the fucking time we put into this and into that and into this and into that, and then for it not to come out, like, it's crazy. And listen, I just brought up Metroid Prime, but we could sit here and talk about retro studios. Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, 10 out of 10, fire, so great. The 2 times it was released on a major flop console and then on a super successful console. Retro hasn't done shit since. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing that we could put. Like, yeah, we know, oh yeah, they helped on, and yeah, I understand that. I'm not trying to take, I'm just saying for them, their caliber, the studio, bro, it's 10 years. 10 years. And nothing. And it's great that they're making the game that we most want them to be making. But nothing. For a decade. Nah. That's just wild. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show you, like, game making can be fun, I guess, but in a lot of ways, this shit could be torture. You know, absolute torture. And that's why I don't blame, like, and I'm gonna mix up these stories all over the place, because at this point, I don't even want to do this shit in an orderly fashion. Like, Toys for Bob, right? They just left, and they got up from under. They got out of there from being under, you know, Activision. They even, you know, made it clear that, yeah, they willing to work with Microsoft and all of that, So they were willing to work with Microsoft directly. They don't want nothing to do with Activision. I'm like, oh, that shit crazy. But yeah, they got out of it. They went independent. I'm like, good for y'all, because look what happened. They just fired a bunch of your people. Yeah, y'all went remote, you know, which is awesome. It could be awesome. Like, Ori games is incredible. Those are 10 out of 10 games, in my opinion, too. And it's like, those games were made completely, you know, remote. And I know this was bullshit behind that studio, so I'm hoping, you know, things is better over there, because the new game that they're making look great. But it's like, yo, where, like, I'm just like, going independent makes sense right now, because where is it safe? You got a lot of things happening in the sense of, who was it? Was Remedy, right? Remedy, they bought back the rights to Control, so they own that IP now. I'm like, cool, they can do whatever they want, movies, whatever. It's theirs now. They gonna eat off that. I like when the developer eats off that more than the suits who don't even care, who'll put you on the chopping block. You know what I'm saying? Like, you work at the biggest studios, like Spider-Man. You just dropped Spider-Man and Insomniac. They've been killing it. And so, yeah, we just fired a bunch of people from over there. We knew this was gonna happen. We saw it in the leaks and all that. But, and I said it's ridiculous then. Like, how this is gonna be a crazy big selling game, and whether people say, oh, it wasn't profit because, you know, it was bundled and blah blah blah. Well, yeah, they always do that. That's Sony's thing. They choose to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just look at it like, imagine that. Imagine working on Spider-Man, one of the biggest IPs in the world, and being like, yeah, you know, I don't know if my mortgage gonna get paid, because I might get just knocked off next year. I might be in the next stack of people. Like, are you serious? That's crazy. So, yeah, it's wild. So, well, it was, all right, so you had Saber Interactive. They left Embracer, right? And a 500 million deal, whatever, to become a private owned company. Cool. Great. Get out of there, because these companies, these giant companies that are buying up, and I'm not mentioning Microsoft, because people are like, oh, Toys for Bob, who's going to make, you know, Crash Bandicoot, goddamn it, Microsoft. Like, that's not on Microsoft hand. This is on Activision hand. Like, they just bought them, and everybody like, no, it's all Microsoft. Like, these things aren't intertwined like one right now. Shit is getting situated before things get situated in a way where now it's like, yeah, all the proper measures have been made for what's going to be made and what's not going to be made. And who's to say that they can't, like, oh yeah, the dream of Banjo-Kazooie is dead. They just said that they willing to work with Microsoft. So Microsoft like, yo, Banjo. They probably already working on it for you know. And they're like, yeah, they just said that so that when the announcement get made, it's like, yeah, don't hit us up about doing that right now because we busy. We're already making something for these guys or something like that. You never know. But they like, yeah, we open to working with them, so it's still possible. Like things is gonna, you know, right now they're gonna have to move and shake things up real quick in order to I mean satisfy all the different wants and needs. And Microsoft, I know, like, listen, Phil Spencer talked about it. He said as much before it was even bought. Like, yeah, the goal. This dude was wearing, what was it, the Hexen shirt and all that. Like, he understands, like, yeah, people want other IPs other than Call of Duty from these guys. It was a moment when Tony Hawk just came out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, all those things could still happen. But I think developers becoming independent and being like, yeah, we're gonna work contract. Y'all want this made? Cool. Hit us up. We work with y'all for this set amount of time so that we don't get fired. We already know what it is. We keep ourselves afloat, and it's no bad blood between us. Because right now it's like, how is it now bad blood? Like when you make hits like Last of Us, you got a hit show, whatever, and it's like, yeah, a bunch of people from Naughty Dog just got fired. It's like you coming into work and it's like, yo, we need, yeah, you know, fucking Tom used to do that shit. And he ain't here, so like we gotta figure it out. Also, you wanna outsource that? I mean, basically, that's it. So yeah, all right, cool. You wanna outsource this? Like it just changes up probably the dynamic of what that studio is. When some of your you know gears get taken off the damn machine. It's like shit just ain't gonna run right. So yeah, you have Gearbox leaving Embracer, which is good. They doing their thing. They got their little movie coming out. Just saw the trailer to that. I never played Borderlands, but that movie to me didn't look. I mean, it ain't something that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that at all. Like, but yeah, maybe fans are like, nah, that shit is on point with what the actual source material is. I'm like, oh, I guess that's why I ain't care for the game ever. But yeah, shout out to them for you know being free from the bullshit, basically. Yeah, like that's all I can say is like these guys all leaving. It makes perfect sense because if the guys making, I mean, soon enough you'll hear, and I don't want it to happen, but soon enough oh yeah, Ubisoft is cutting this or that, and it's like, ain't y'all making like 17 Assassin's Creed games? Who gonna make these shits if y'all firing people? And that's what I felt like with Microsoft when they fire people. It's like you gonna fire people. But you got so much IP to deal with. Like, just make team with the people you got. Just start making little. Like, Nintendo got EPD. Why is it that they can have EPD and be like, all right, there's Division 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just do that and make smaller games. Why is it that they could see something like Power World be a success? They could see something like Hollow Knight, Celeste. Like, we can name the games that are dope games that resonate with people. When you bring up Metroidvania now, what list doesn't include Hollow Knight or Guacamelee? Any list that wants to be credible is going to include those two games. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, are you serious? Like, y'all can't get a couple people. Like, you got games being made by 2 people out here. And these guys can't even be like, yeah, a lot of time, yo, here, check this out. We mad rich. So, here's $10 million and make whatever. You know, make some cool shit. And I know that they think like, oh, yeah, but how you know that's going to work? Who give a fuck? You got Game Pass. Just throw it in it. See, maybe it will, maybe it won't. Oh, but that's $10 million down the drain. Does it hurt you? $3 trillion Microsoft, does it genuinely hurt? Like, it's all about, oh, nah, you know, this year the number got to be up. Next year the number got to be up. But I'm just like, yo, y'all just looking at numbers going up. What about the actual art form of making games? I don't know if you noticed this, but you got to make shit people actually want in order to, this is what made Power World a success. It was like, yo, people want Pokemon that's very community-based, HD graphics, better than what Game Freak been given on Switch. So people gravitated to that. How many people going to stay playing that? Not that many. Oh, Pokemon now got a real competitor. Does it? Do you believe that? When the shit was happening, I was like, come on. Y'all for real? Yeah, for real. We just got Pokemon announced. They ain't show shit. Look at the way that game was trending and everything. And all the rumors, oh, it's going to be a Switch. And Switch 2 games, so you know it's probably going to look crazy. Oh, you know they ain't show it. They letting it cook. And da-da-da. And it's like, yeah, hopefully all those things are true. We don't know. But hopefully all those things are true. But you see the excitement is there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know, like, yo, bringing up Pokemon when it first came out wasn't shit. It was a nothing. Nobody thought about it. Like Power World, we all saw it. We all talked about it. Well, anybody with a podcast definitely who watch video game shows. I know I talked about it. Was like, yo, the Pokemon game with the guns, da da da. Then it came out and it did what it did. You know what I'm saying? And it's like nobody could have thought that would have worked. Oh yeah, it's a copy of Pokemon. You really think that shit gonna click you? Yeah, that's exactly the way it's gonna happen when somebody comes off and knock off Fortnite, Call of Duty, or whatever the case may be. Like if you think it's not gonna, you think these shits are gonna be forever. I'm not saying it's not possible. My favorite video game IP, Mario, is been forever. Zelda has been forever. Hell, even Metroid. You know what I'm saying? Sam has been doing her thing still. It's like we will it to happen. That's one thing where we force Nintendo. Listen, we don't give a fuck what it sell. We want a Metroid game, but then they're like, yo, we gotta make a Metroid game. They ain't never gonna shut the hell up. And then they make them. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do people gotta ask for 50 years for Banjo game? Oh yeah, it gotta be none. We just do the shit. Like Banjo wasn't a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Just make the game. Look at what the fuck it is. Oh, collectathon going into pictures, and make one, and see. Just try. It's like, oh no, it gotta be done right. It gotta be. I'm not telling you not do it right, and I'm not telling you to be lazy and half-assed. I'm just saying, just do it. You know how many years it's been that they could have done it? Oh yeah, but what if Red don't want to make it? Okay, cool. You don't want to make it, but somebody wants that game. We own the IP. We gonna get somebody to make it. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not rocket science, and it's not going up from under them and be like, oh no, it's like, no, people want this game. All right, y'all don't want to make it. We will make it. And the people gonna make it, gonna respect it. And y'all could get producer credits and all that, because shit could come through y'all. Y'all like the design of the new Banjo and Kazooie? Y'all like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just do that. Nah, it's too hard to do that. Like, yo, that's why a lot of the times it makes me feel now like, yeah, it's genuinely suits who run these companies. And this is why I say, like, look, this shit is sad. All of it. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. Who's at fault for all of this? The same ones doing the firing. I was there, bro. Not physically, but I mean alive. Really tapped in. When Iwata gave his speech, what was it, 2004? 2004, 2005? I think it was 2004. When he went and he talked about the shit that y'all about to do with these consoles, the jump y'all about to make, that shit ain't gonna be sustainable. A lot of y'all gonna bleed out, y'all gonna disappear. Was basically the gist of it. They laughed him out the building. I still remember all the different, companies that I could sit here and name doing panels and shitting on the graphics and talking this and talking that and talking this and talking that. And it's like, yeah, a lot of these guys ain't around no more. I mean, the whole studios aren't around. They're gone. Dust. Bye-bye. Iwata told people that. They laughed at him. See, because, oh yeah, y'all think power, suits. Money up, money up, money up. He stomped everybody out right after that with the Wii. Literally stomped everybody out and then did it again. You know what I'm saying? With the 3DS, when it was like, oh, the PSP gonna kill it because of power. Did it again. Twice. Oh, you thought I was playing? You thought it was a fluke? Again. And then the Wii U happened. How? Listen, ROG Ally, all that shit, Switch, everything. Wii U was the thing that had to kick down the door. People was shunned it, whatever. Cool. The lineup came back on the next console, stomped out all your favorite games on whatever hardware you talking about, and then went on to be a success. Nintendo right now, bigger than ever. And that was made by who? Oh, yeah, that's right. Iwata too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that was his last baby. That was the last thing he gave. This is the dude, oh, yeah, but that was, y'all look at it like that was a suit. That's not a suit. This dude is talking with dudes who actually had their hands in the pot cooking. The artists, the creators. That's the difference. Oh, Nintendo is truly the artist company. Like, you understand, like, this is the man who helped bring you Pokemon. This is the man who helped bring you Kirby, Smash Brothers. This is the man who greenlighted, who had the balls enough to be like, yo, Kazooie, what you doing with Mario is crazy right now. Keep going. Oh, you got more? Let's do Galaxy 2. Like, this is what he did. Put that man in charge. You running that shit now. Yeah, Miyamoto still come through with it, but you the guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's everything he did. All the shit he did that people, oh yeah, we fit, this, that, all that shit that people thought, like, this guy was really just like, work, go, have fun, do some shit, do some crazy shit. And that's what these other companies lack. It's like every investment, they want it to be the perfect investment that's going to make yo, listen, let me tell you, Vampire Survivor is some, what is that, 8-bit, 16-bit maybe, like, graphics, like, and it's monstrous. I just saw they got the Space DLC coming out. Like, it's monstrous. Shout out to Ibster in the chat, Dark Sun Rider, what up, what up? Like, did like y'all can do that. Like y'all can attempt those. And it's like they'll say, "Oh yeah, we partner up and we bring those games to you." Like Vampire Survivors came to Game Pass, and Bro Tato just did 1 million downloads, and that's through Game Pass. And Chainsaw Massacre, 11 million players, and you know what I'm saying. A ton of those was off Game Pass. Like so, we doing, and I understand it. This is why I love Xbox. But I'm saying them though, as a company, y'all should be literally just having first party games come out and yeah, that hit, and then you could be like, yeah, that one going to Switch and that one going to PlayStation. Oh, this one worldwide. This is going crazy. Throw it over there. Like certain ones stay or whatever they do, they want to do. It's like just they could be trying. Like now everybody's like, yeah, we're getting into a video game crash, and it's like, bro, this was talked about by literally one of the geniuses of our time in this medium, and motherfuckers ignored him. You know what I'm saying? And then after he passed away, like people say, oh yeah, how great he was, how great, and it's like, yeah, all right, cool. But I felt like while he was alive, while I was the guy, always like, yo, Iwata is the dude genius is just crazy. Like Touch Generation fathered your iPhones and all that. Like remember, this was before that. Like Brain Age, all that shit. Like this dude was truly one of those guys, not just made up. Like he was really special, and that just goes with Nintendo. There's a lot of special people in there, and it's like they don't fire people. When Mario Wonder was coming out, what I told y'all, I said, listen, you see all these people talking about, oh, this is the young boys that Nintendo getting to play. And I'm like, the fuck they talking about? These are the OGs. This is the know-how of 35 years. And this is showing you, like, look, this is how you do a 2D game. Watch this. And then they, well, it's not Iwata Ass no more, but the Iwata Ass, like, interviews that they did. And who you saw, the whole line of, yeah, there was some young boys there. But them young boys there is like, bro, young boys, these dudes was working on Mario already 20 years ago. But 10, 20 years. And it's like, you saw all the OGs still there in the room, with a major position at the table. You get what I'm saying? That's unheard of in this industry. But that's the way it should be. Because that's all the moving parts. Listen, there's a part of Mario, right? This one it's not hard to understand. When an IP is created, right? If two people made a game, fine. The heart and soul of that game lives within those two people. Factually, they made it, right? But when the game is truly made from the ground up and then for years, even if it was made originally by two people, but now we on the 5th entry and the team blew up to 50 people, you're going to have a group of people who is like, the way that character looks, that's that group of people right there in that cubicle. So when you're like, oh, yo, how they going to, I'm going to just use Mario, for example. Oh, how Mario going to look in the next game? Is he going to be regular texture? Is he going to be Smash Brothers Brawl or Odyssey where they made the jeans, you got the knitting and all that in it, where you see the, like, detailed ass textures? What are they going to do? Is they going to be, cell shaded, whatever? Yeah, there's people who do that. Not just some random guys. You're not outsourcing that. That is the heart and soul of this IP. And then you got the movement. That's another essence of the character. The way the character moves. You can't just fire these people. Because who's going to come up with throwing Cappy and then jumping on it? They just revolutionized the way this dude moved. You gotta keep these dudes on. What are we doing? Oh, now, because, next quarter we got to get more money. Digital Green Tea said Vampire Survivor, Bro Tato, small but fun. Yeah, exactly. Small but super fun. And I'm gonna actually pick up tomorrow Geometry Wars Survivor. It's another one of these, Survivor games, and it looks super good too. And I always like Geometry Wars on the 360. Yo, hold up, my bad. Yeah, there you go. All right, so I was doing two things. I was trying to bring up this other gameplay. I just look at it and it's like, when it's about suits making money more than the art form, I'm like, all right, so then y'all all destined to fail. And that's why, Microsoft first party wise, like, yeah, they had to buy all this shit up. And it's like, yeah, because they never try, y'all barely promote stuff. You talk to people about Game Pass, they don't even know. So you got people out here because of PlayStation dudes always, bad mouthing Xbox who believe, oh yeah, you can only play Xbox games through Game Pass, right? That's the only way you can't own the games. And it's like, they don't know about rewards, they don't know about that. This is shit that Microsoft is supposed to be screaming off the rooftops. But are they? Nope. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but they should, like, but they don't. And it's just wild. Like, like how we sitting here right now talking about dudes who made literally like, all right, we just came off the best year in games last year. It was crazy, Street Fighter and all that shit. All the crazy games we got last year, and it's still been going. We got Prince of Persia this year. There's mad games still coming out. You know what I'm saying? I returned Helldivers. I'm be honest, because I was like, this shit don't work. And then when it finally came back, it was crashing my PC. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Return that shit. I said, y'all tried, you failed. You know what I'm saying? on my end, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just wasn't it. Uh, yeah, like, but there's been games coming out that's been getting a lot of buzz, Power, all this stuff. We got a lot of games still coming out this year, mad good games. So when I hear people talk about like, oh, we going into another video game crash, it ain't a video game crash. This is what Iwata was talking about. It's just everybody now gonna adapt to what indie developers been doing already and shining with. Like, yo, Vampire Survivor got a movie coming out. Who is it? It's Netflix, right? Who doing not a movie, an anime series, just like Castlevania. Playtale, that's an indie game that got a show or a movie being done, developed at Amazon Prime right now. Like, these is indie things. You know what I'm saying? You just had the Cuphead show and all that. Like, these is indie things. Why are they eating? Seems like they doing great. You know what I mean? Nintendo eating, they doing great. They ain't making $300 million games. And if they are, they know that they're gonna be able to move the units of that IP. Like, Nintendo right now could say, all right, look, let's put $300 million into Animal Crossing. People be like, that's fucking crazy. But it's like, yeah, we're gonna move 50 million units of this. Like, this is what they do. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, Spider-Man ain't gonna do that. So what you doing? Then it's like, yeah, you gotta pay. If you don't make this much money, you gotta give Disney that much money. It's just like, yo, this shit is not working. That's why when I see EA is like, yeah, we're gonna stop doing as much license stuff. They completely canceled Respawn's Star Wars games. This was one of my most anticipated games. Like, when it comes to me, Time Splitters got canceled, basically. Done. I'm like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this for years. That shit hurt. And now it's like Respawn, Titanfall, the Call of Duties. They're one of my favorite developers on the planet. I'm like, yeah, them doing the Mandalorian game, which is what I've been wanting, because the show feels like a damn video game where every episode is getting upgrades and shit. Not happening now. Like, come on. Like, that's crazy. They still doing the third entry in the Survivor series, the Jedi, and the Jedi series, I guess you should say. Which is cool, but it's like, yeah, they want to move away from licensed stuff and want to focus more on their own IP and their sports stuff. And it's like, I get it, because shit is crazy. You can make a licensed IP and not know if your return going to be right. So you look at something like Blade and you're like, yo, thank God Blade exists. And that's happening. But too many games getting canceled left and right. Studios who are like pillars in this industry having to fire people. And it's not like they just dropped a failure. Like, no, they're successful. And it's like, y'all got to fire people. Like, Insomniac firing people is wild. And that's why I put this thumbnail the way I did, where it's like, PlayStation 5 is a huge success, right? It's moving units. But it's a fucking failure. A total failure. It's been a failure to the developers. It's because they came in with Japan fired. And now they fired people from everywhere else. Got rid of London now. Like, it's a fucking failure. And this is why I talked about PlayStation 2. Like, yo, when it was like, oh yeah, they stole Rumble, so they had to give the 90 million, which basically they lost all the profits of PlayStation 2. So the whole fucking generation was a wash. But yet history remembers it like they won. I'm like, that ain't it. This is why you ain't have Rumble with the PlayStation 3 at the start. And then it came after. Like, they do shit like this all the time. And this is why, for me, it's like, yeah, when people are like, yo, why you don't play on PlayStation? It's like, listen, I got a PC, right? I can play their games there, first of all, because they third party. They going everywhere. Even the VR is going everywhere. Like I was saying, anybody saying otherwise, you smoking. This is what they preparing you for. For you could stop being console warriors and just play video games. They know at the end of the day, that all this toxic console shit too, is hurting it too. Like, yo, everybody using every game like it's a goddamn sport team or something like that is corny as hell, and like the whole industry basically is adapting right now, but it ain't a crash. It's just they gonna stop making these ridiculous sized games and start just giving people good games. Like, think about this: why we ain't got no like, because what EA did with It Takes Two was 10 out of 10, and Hazelight is now literally one of my favorite developers on the planet. That game when I finished it, I immediately came on there. I was like, yo, listen, if this game ain't game of the year, they ain't lying. And I love Metroid Dread, and Metroid just came out. I'm hype as hell about it. The greatest thing I ever, I mean, one of the greatest things I ever played, and definitely the best thing I played this year. Super creative. You felt like that development team was in synchronization because fucking the game was made to be played in synchronization. I was like, this is special. That shit got game of the year. I was like, all right, cool. And a lot of publications, and it's also getting a movie at Amazon, and I'm like, fire. And that's a small thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not this giant. And it's like, yo, why? It's like, yo, why ain't you doing a small Gears of War 2-player thing? People like, yo, make an intimate story of Halo like ODST. Nah. You find out, oh yeah, we talked about this last week. Oh yeah, they've canceled like 50,000 different Halo, ODST like video game experiences. Yeah, because or spin-offs or whatever the case may be. It's like, what are you doing? Like, this is why Nintendo is crazy, because they're like, yo, listen, Mario Paper today. Tomorrow we doing the Yoshi game. Peach is gonna get her own game. We're gonna do a Mario little mini thing real quick with Donkey Kong, Mario versus Donkey Kong. We're gonna do Mario Wonder. Oh yeah, we back after 11 years. Oh yeah, we just did Mario Odyssey. Luigi's Mansion is doing anything. Oh yeah, we just bought the developer Luigi's Mansion Next Level Games. Like, they be out there with Mario, they be moving. It's like, oh yeah, because it's Mario. But it's like, yeah, but they try. Could you say they tried with God of War? I said, why haven't we ever gotten a 2D Castlevania like God of War? This is the thing. They don't try. It's like the fucking. I don't want to say they're creatively bankrupt over there, because I know they're not. I know I'm not special in the sense of, oh yeah, these ideas. I never thought of Castlevania like God of War game, a 2D game, a side story, or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, nah, on the PSP, it got to be just like the console. But it's like, and I'm thinking that's the suits. Because I'm sure there's developers out there like, yo, it'd be cool to make a Gears of War like Contra. 2 players running around. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking, I don't know, do anything, do a Coltrane story, whatever. Oh, it's Dom and Coltrane running around. Then the market's not even in this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, or just have the characters. You just pick the 2, like Contra, and you just go. And you can have Kate, everybody in the game. Literally every character in the thing. Like, or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could do anything like this, but they don't. Why is it so easy for me to think of IPs that you could do? Like, I talked about, why don't we got a Warhog Halo game like Twisted Metal? That video, what was that, like 3 years ago on the channel? Like, yo, why we don't got that? You know what I'm saying? Like, me playing Forza with the Warhog, I'm like, you could listen. This is fun, and this is supposed to be realistic, but this is fun to play with this made up car. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, throw a Batmobile in Forza. Do more partnerships in Forza. Like, they did the Bond cars and stuff like that. But it feels like it's not that consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a couple per game. Like, right now, they just did the Fast and the Furious in Forza Horizon 5. But it's like, yeah, y'all could be going. Where's Speed Racer car at? Give me the Ninja Turtle car. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much stuff out there. Just, it's like almost like you need geeks. You need creative people who really tapped in. And it's like, it ain't hard. Like, people, oh yeah, it'd be hard to do a Fortnite competitor. I'm like, word. I think if I had the funds, I think I could smash them. I'm dead serious. And it was like, yeah, I mean, easier said than done. That's true. But imagine you attempted. Now, imagine I didn't smash them. But imagine I actually took some players away and now you got a successful game. It ain't number 1, but it could be in the top 10. That ain't good enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Navon Wise say Iwata was the best. They should have gave him his flowers while he was around to enjoy them. Exactly. Remember, it was oh yeah, he should be fired during the Wii U. I'm like, fired? I'm like, the games he greenlighting, the games they making, these games is fire. It's like, y'all ain't paying attention. Y'all going off the internet hating, oh, is it a Wii? Is it a Wii U? All right, cool. But y'all all went and bought those games again anyway on the Switch. So he still won at the end. And that's why I say, like, listen, you can say whatever you want about the Wii U. The Wii U was better than your favorite consoles. And I said it then, and then history will prove me right, because what made more money? I'll wait. Stop. Like, come on, man. Like, and it's like Microsoft now is huge, right? They got players all over the place, all these different, IP. And I'm like, is it crazy? Like they've been like, nah, we're not gonna attach our IP to this. And I'm like, are you serious? We gotta have real conversations. And I'm gonna tell you what the IP is. Listen to this. Forza Horizon, right? Spinoff. True crime Streets of Horizon, made up world, made up everything. So it's like, oh, it's not real car. It's just True Crime Streets of Horizon. The driving is done by the Horizon team, and then you got Activision. A bunch of people probably made True Crime sitting around, or maybe they got fired because they fire people all the time. And it's like, yeah, there you go. You could do a little Grand Theft Auto competitor. It don't even need to be a single player thing. You could just make an online thing, open world. It's like Horizon, Forza, but you could get out your car, run around, in the squad-based games, capture the flag, and just have fun. Because Forza already has fun. Like, people don't even know this because they don't promote. Like, one of the Battle Royale games that I play, other than Call of Duty and this, is none other than Forza. And people are like, what? Like, they got a Battle Royale in Forza? Like, yeah, there's a full-blown Battle Royale in Forza. You know what I'm saying? Called Eliminator. Eliminator! And it's fun. So it's like they could do so much. It just feels like they're always so slow to pull the trigger on things. Always like, no, you can't really, Yo, smaller, reusing assets. Do that more often. Being transparent with customers and saying, yeah, we're doing this Halo thing. It's gonna be 3 hours, right? It's gonna be 3 hours. We're gonna drop this. It's gonna cost $20. It's 2-player co-op. And then be like, yeah. When that thing ends, don't even fucking tease it online. Just when it ends, when the people play it, beat it, let it go online virally, where the game ends and it says, summer of whatever the year the game came out, and they say it came out at the beginning of the year. This summer, new story, 3 players, and it's like, yeah, this is gonna be the same size thing but more players, and then the next one will be 4 players. The next season is like, yeah, so it's like. You just basically up the player base, and it's the same kind of experience. You just add different little things to it. It's like, come on, bro. Like, it's not hard. Even factions like being canceled, like that, for that to just be canceled completely is wild. And by the way, if you're watching this, like, yo, why you building this trash? I don't play build. I clicked it by mistake. So yeah, that's why it's so bad. Like you can't be afraid to take chances. And it's crazy to be so rich and yet to be so, the best way to put it is to be such a coward. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the suits. I'm not talking about the developers, because the developers is gonna pitch ideas. I know it for a fact. There's no way you get the dream job and then you don't pitch. Yo, I had this idea. I had this dream. I had this idea. I had this idea. You think I play Fortnite since 2017. You think I ain't think of a Fortnite killer? Like, you really think I haven't thought about it and thoroughly? Like, listen, when I was playing Mario games and I was talking to y'all about my future Mario games, I was on point, right? Mario Odyssey came out and it was literally what I was asking for. Like, so this is why I be having faith in my ideas. Like, I was talking about Wind Waker before Wind Waker happened. I was saying, yo, an animated cartoony Zelda is what I want more than a realistic Zelda. You know what I'm saying? When everybody wanted Lord of the Rings Zelda, I was actually one of the ones who wanted cartoony Zelda. It's funny just the way my mind worked. But anyway, enough patting myself on the back. Yo, it's sad. It's sad that I'm sitting here talking about this stuff, and I know all of y'all listening to this is like, yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to them. Small budget, make this little tight experience. Like, why don't we got, for example, I've always said this even from Nintendo, right? I used to always say, why don't we got, the Punch-Out game, right? Which was like Streets of Rage, and you running around and you beating people up with Little Mac. This is when he outside the gym. You know what I'm saying? He had to defend his neighborhood or something like that. Do a story like that. Rumble in the Bronx style. And this Little Mac beating people up like Streets of Rage. And then you could introduce other characters. You already have them there. You could have some of the other fighters and be like, yeah, this guy was, like, nah, man, I hate Little Mac when it comes to boxing, but I respect him as an athlete. So, I'm going to help him save his city. And then you could pick the other characters. Simple. Then you got 4 players running around beating shit up. And you got an IP that's fire attached to it. Like, for how many years was I saying, yo, F-Zero should be a Battle Royale game? What's the last F-Zero game that came out? Battle Royale game. When was I saying this? 10 years ago. 10 years. It took, and look at the graphics and the style they did it. How much you thought that cost? So what was the holdup? It's not like the online got better. It's like, oh no, we needed the current architecture of online to do it. Like, it ain't that. So what's the holdup? It's no different than when we look and we like, yo, why they don't got no themes, but then they had themes. It's as minuscule as that. You could look at it. It may seem bigger, but it's not. It's really not. It's just they're afraid to take chances. But once something pop off, they want to show up. It's basically you ain't want to go to the supermarket. You ain't want to put the food away when I showed up with the food. You ain't want to help cook the food. But once you felt felt it, you felt the pan go blang, blang. You smelt that shit hit your nose. Oh, shit. You want to run out your room and come open in pots, see what I'm doing. What? What? Sit your ass down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to show up to when the party is popping, but this was your idea to have this party. You know what I'm saying? It was your idea to throw this surprise party for this person. So this person shouldn't have to do that because it's a surprise for them. But you should be helping me put this party together because it was your idea. It don't matter if it's taking place in my house. It was your idea. You should come early, set the shit up. Common courtesy, right? Because this was your idea. Nah, they like, listen, the point I'm trying to make is they'll, like Microsoft was there. You got to give them props for Power World, right? They was like, we got it in Game Pass. Smart. They was there for Brotato. Smart. That's what Game Pass allows them to do, is for them to be a part of the zeitgeist of the thing, because it's a, super low barrier to entry to whenever something goes viral to be able to say, oh yeah, it's in Game Pass. Oh shit, where? And then everybody now, oh yeah, that thing that got 2 million people day one, all of a sudden now got 10. Because, well, yeah, a bunch of people just jumped on it on Game Pass. PC and Xbox. Split the difference. I don't give a shit. It's all the same. People are like, oh, there's more people playing on PC. When they boot it up, do they go through the Xbox app? Right? Are they playing? Is it a game where when you play, like, let's say, some of these PlayStation games coming out, Sea of Thieves and stuff like that, where you got to sign in to Xbox Live. So guess what? You are another tick on the active users, which, when this whole thing started, this whole generation, what I was telling y'all, I said they're going to be talking about sales. I'm like, bro, you selling a box means shit. When the way video games now are really making money is by selling the game and selling shit within the game. So the game is actually the platform to sell and make money. How many people gave me shit? And I was like, Microsoft is more set up for this. They already got these games, that game, this game, that game, this game, that game. Like, I'm already doing it. I got Sarah Connor and Gears of War. I was already doing it. People are oh yeah, the future. I'm like, it's now. What are y'all talking about? Oh, you crazy. PlayStation gonna sell and do this, da, 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 da. All right, cool. They sold. They did everything they did. Everything you said they were gonna do, they did. Did it help? Because everything I said is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's truly what it is. It wasn't hating. Oh, you hating. Like, why? I genuinely, there's one thing nobody can ever say about me. Like, I genuinely love video games. It's my favorite medium. It's my favorite art form. Video games, listen, when I say video games saved my life because of where I'm from and those times when guns started busting and I was in the house instead of being on the block, because I was let me go in the crib and play some No Mercy. Let me go in the crib and play some GoldenEye, some Mario 64, some Ocarina of Time. Whenever a game took me away from the streets, that was a blessing. Video games saved my life. And in more ways than just that. That was the way it saved my life when I was young. Now, today, I eat off video games. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it provides for me and my family. That's just the facts. In more ways than you even know. Like, and and that's why it's like, I genuinely love video games, but beyond the monetary reason. I was the guy who really had to get into it, my mom's, and I regret it now. And I said, listen, if some Nintendo Powers go for like $500,000 one day in the auction, I'm gonna be like, we had that, and you made me throw away my 2 duffel bags, because I had a closet full. Imagine a goddamn closet full with 2 duffel bags of just Nintendo Power, EGM, and all that. Like, listen, I've been tapped into the video game zeitgeist and stuff since the beginning. I feel like since the beginning of video game magazines and everything. And I really genuinely love it. And I love video game developers, creators. I could talk shit about consoles and console war. I could do all that. But the actual people who make the game, why would I shit talk to people who make the game? The most shit talking you'll see me do is something like, you don't got common sense? Like, who you thought that was smart? Like, for example, I put out a tweet and it was basically me saying, like, we got to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. We can't sugarcoat it. The person who decided, and because I said it when it was happening, I said the person who thought it was a good idea to launch a Sonic game. Yo, by the way, right here, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to survive. To launch a Sonic game next to Mario Wonder after the 11-year hiatus we got. Like, you know how much we was thirsting for a new Mario game, and then one that actually was a jump visually and stuff in animation. And they thought, all right, yeah, we're gonna compete. That's what it was. They thought they had the Sonic movie. They had their chest pump. They thought, yeah, Sonic is big. Nah. This is what I'm saying. Like, listen, Sonic. Look, I grew up with Sonic. I love Sonic. I see Sonic. I still get joy when I see Sonic. I get disappointment from, feeling like they could do better, but I get joy when I see Sonic. It's something that brings me joy when I see the characters and everything. But nah, it ain't that. And that's why when the Mario movie came out and it did what it did, I was like, well, yeah, I thought it was going to do. That's why I said, oh, Sonic got Mario, at least in Hollywood. I'm like, bro, y'all ain't even see one still of Mario. When Mario come, that shit is going to come correct. That's what I was saying on this very podcast, and that's what happened. Mario stomped out Sonic, the movie, and everything else, and then every other video game movie, you know what I'm saying? And the game went ahead and stomped out Sonic, even though the game looked promising and everything. It's like, how much did Sonic Frontiers sell versus Mario Odyssey? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you can't compare, but people like to. And you should know realistically your place in the whole scheme of things. It's easy to say, yeah, I could come up with a Fortnite killer. Cool. Yeah, it's nice to say that. But you probably won't, right? But it's nice to have aspiration and push for that. And if you get close, yo, that's a W. But don't go and think, oh no, guaranteed, I'm about to stomp Epic out. Like, I promise you're not. You think you are, but you're not. Yeah, man, green tea. It's just look. I had a whole, I had the whole program for this podcast. I just went off and just started talking because honestly, this was a podcast that was hard to make, and I was like, listen, I'm not going to make this podcast so there's actual more video game news, and not just make a podcast that's all about this, and still genuinely made a podcast that's all about this, the people getting fired. So yeah, I'm gonna come back to it definitely because there's a lot that I gotta come back to. Right, I'm gonna come back to these main topics. I want to talk about all these Xbox rumors, Switch stuff, but real quick, let me go through this news real quick. Through all of this news, so they just announced TMNT, the arcade game, Wrath of the Mutants. It's coming out April 23rd, 2024. Definitely gonna be picking that up. I think it's only gonna be like $30 or $40, which that's another thing. See, I'm going right back to it. Cheaper games. They keep wanting to go higher. We saw the leaks. Oh yeah, let's do Spider-Man in 3 parts and let's charge $100 a pop. Like, and y'all think that's gonna be the answer? Y'all currently bundling these shit. So most of the majority of people who you counting as sales didn't even buy the shit. They went and bought a PlayStation and was like, yeah, let me get this one. They got Spider-Man. The same way they were going, yeah, let me get this one. They got Modern Warfare 3 in it. Like, does it count? Sure. But does it truly count in the sense of that person is going to now be turned into a customer who's going to go and buy Spider-Man 3? You don't know that. You don't know that. Listen, I'm one of those one of them. You know what I mean? Like when I bought my PlayStation 3, I bought that shit, the gunmetal one, because that's the one I wanted. Because the PlayStation 3 was so ugly, big, bulky. I was like, at least I want the one that's fly. I got the Metal Gear gunmetal one. I don't play Metal Gear games. I started up that game. It was like 4 hours of talking, like cinema movie. It was a cooking show. I said, yeah, hold on, put that shit right back in the box. Traded that in, and I always told the story like I bought what I bought. I got Orange Box and Call of Duty 4. You know what I'm saying? Bought that again because I already had it on Xbox and had it on Wii at the time. You know, the Reflex edition. Like, dude, like, and so I didn't transfer into sales for the Metal Gear series. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody who you just give a game away to is gonna become a diehard fan. You don't see every Wii Sports game release selling 80 million like the original did. Why? Because everybody didn't become a diehard fan like me or other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the thing too. So it's like you thinking raising the price is the answer. No, I think smaller games like this. Again, look, this TMNT arcade game. Matter of fact, let me. I'm gonna actually try to show this thing off. Let me pause this. Yeah, let's do that. Where is that? Where is that? Where the hell is my remote? Oh, there you go. Man, I can't wait to talk about these Xbox rumors just for the remote. Uh, yeah, here we go. Let's do that. So this is the game, and it looks awesome, right? It's a beat 'em up. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you could just do something like this with Punch Out. People would eat it up the same way a lot of people ate up the F-099. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do something like this with anything. Even Gears of War, like I said, like it could be like a Power Stone Mall space shooting game. It don't got to be on the grid 2D like Contra. You can mix it up. It could be like Contra. It could be like, what's it called? What the hell is? Yo, it's right there in my brain right now. The other damn shooting game with all the military people, yo. Metal Slug. Jesus Christ. I had Advance Wars in my head. I'm like, I know that's not that because that's Nintendo. I'm like, it's Metal Slug. Yeah, like Metal Slug. Gears of War like Metal Slug. They could do that. I'm not saying it's going to sell 20 million. But if you make it 4 players, multiplayer, it's in Game Pass, it's on PC. Yeah, you could definitely do numbers. And you have people who buy it, all the Gears of War fans who own every Gears entry. It's like, yeah, I got to buy it because I own them, like myself. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, this looks awesome. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh no, that's a little small thing. It's like everybody wants to put on these shows showing off these big things instead of having a variety of games. And it's like, we want variety. It just can't be from our studios. And it's like, that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, utilize your people to make cool stuff, different stuff. But hey, it is what it is. They claim they know better. But another story, which I'm not gonna spend much time on for the simple fact I'm gonna break it down. So Nintendo is suing Yuzu, creator of a popular Switch emulator. I know nothing about this, right? Because I've never emulated a single video game ever. Told the story 1,000 times. I had a friend. He had a PC. He had Star Fox 2 emulated on it. I didn't even know you could do that at the time. I knew of Star Fox 2, heard of it, knew we wasn't getting it here, and he had it there. And I was, seeing that goddamn R-Wing turned into the walk-in ship and everything, I was like, oh, that's crazy. Didn't care, though. And he was like, oh, look, I got all these games, Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, everything. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like, listen, I've always been the one talking about when in, what was it, 2004? When they showed all the consoles going to the blue light of that black weed that Iwata had at E3. And it was like, yo, all your games gonna be there. I was like, yo, all our games gonna be on one box. We never gotta get nothing again. I was buying games like crazy on the Wii. And then when nothing carried over and you had to pay, I was like, this ain't it. So when Xbox was like, yeah, we got backwards compatibility. And what was that, 2015? Forward compatibility. Woo! That blew my mind. And I saw gamers not gravitate to that goddamn console. Like gamers running that E3 to go play Breath of the Wild. I was like, oh, hell no. So y'all not even going to speak with y'all dollars and make this shit better. If everybody would have went out and bought Xboxes, even right now, due to the fact that they ownership blows out everybody. Like, for real, I was on my PC, right? I went on Starfield, because I never put Starfield on PC. I was like, let me, because, after I fixed up my PC, I was like, let me see how Starfield runs. 60 frames per second, beautiful. I was like, God damn, this shit look good. So I played a little bit of Starfield there, and I was like, when I go on my Xbox, which I'm mainly gonna play that game, probably that 60 frames per second was feeling nice. But now, when I go on my Xbox, right, and I go back to that game, once they got planet vehicles, that's what I said. Once they got the planet vehicles, I'm back in, and I'll finish that game because I was enjoying my time with that game a lot. It's gonna be right where I left it. I left it right in front of this dude on the planet, right at the start of a mission. Didn't press A to talk to him, just left it there. When I start this game on the console, it's gonna be right there because of smart delivery. You know what I'm saying? Like Gears of War. Because I abandoned ship on Xbox with Xbox One because I was just like, this shit is just ridiculous. Everything they were doing, all the weird shit. And did I abandon the games? No. Still bought Gears of War, and it was mad cool when I bought Gears of War 4 on PC, and it was nice knowing that when I get the next Xbox, because everything, the writing was on the wall, like everything was gonna be better. You know what I'm saying? You got backwards compatibility, all this talk, all of that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna jump in on the next one. I couldn't even wait. I got the One X, so I did come back during the Xbox One, but I got the One X, and it was that. It was like, yo, look, bam, Gears of War. Play through all the Gears of War games again. I'm like, yo, all the games that I own are there. Wonderful. You know what I'm saying? And then Gears of War 5 is like, yeah, got that. Hivebusters got that. And it's like, yo, it's nice knowing that whether you got the console or you don't, whether you decided to switch ecosystem, maybe your funds wasn't right, so you can only own the Series S, right? Let's say you was young. Let's paint that scenario. That's a real story. You a young cat right now. And you building up this, roster of video games on the Series S, because that's whatever the reason what your moms could afford you, shit tight. Trust me, I come from that. I understand this when I say, right? But now, a decade passed. Fuck a decade. Let's go 15 years. You got the banging job. You got the money now. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to build my first rig. And I'm going to get I don't know what number they on. They on 4090 right now. 5090 or something going to be coming out. So let's just say they up there. Far, far away from all of that. More zeros. And you get that. And then you go, oh yeah, now when you go back to play those games will be playing better than when you played them originally. Higher frame rates. It's like, oh yeah, when I played it, they were maybe 60, but they weren't 4K because, you had the Series S. So now you're getting it 4K, HDR, 120 frames per second. And it's like, yeah, it actually feels like I'm playing a remaster. That's what it felt like when I got a One X. And I started playing my old games. And I'm like, bro, this feels incredible. This is insane. And now it's just the norm. And everything is the norm. Quick resume is the norm. Like, it's all the norm for the Xbox guy. And the people who don't got it, they don't even know. And when they get it, then they're going to be like, oh, I see this happen a lot where Android versus Apple. It's like, oh, yeah, this is great. Like, I could use my Apple charger on this charger and that charger. And I'm like, yeah, welcome to fucking 10 years ago, USB-C. Like, goddamn, then Wii U have USB-C. I mean, Switch did in 2017 for crying out loud, and Nintendo be late to get to the party. But anyway, stuff like that. Anyway, look, I'm all over the place. Let's keep it. Let's keep it going. So yeah, I talked about Remedy acquiring, the control rights from 505 Games. I've talked about Pokemon Legends a bit already. You know what I'm saying? They talked about a new adventure awaits within Lumio City, where an urban redevelopment plan is underway to shape the city into a place that belongs to both the people and the Pokemon. So, obviously, the Legend series was very well received, which was good, right? It was like the first open world Pokemon, and it was like Origins of Pokemon. And obviously, this is still more Origins, but it's going to move up the timeline, which is cool. Look, I would love this game to be the game that everybody wants it to be. And the game that everybody wants it to be, sadly, it's a multiplayer experience that isn't horrible, because they'll be like, oh yeah, the last one got multiplayer. Again, an actual multiplayer experience that isn't horrible. The game built around friends, community, because that's what Pokemon is. It's the weirdest thing in the world that they don't want it to be. The Pokemon trading card is about community. Pokemon games, link cables, community. But then when it comes to fucking online, they be like, listen, man, what happened was you got to do this, do that, or you can only do this, or you got to do it in this rigid way. And it's like, yo, we just want to start the game and people just populate our world, dead ass, and just go. That's what we want. Nothing more, nothing less. Just give us that. And they struggle, and they struggle, and they struggle. Hopefully this could be that. Do I have faith? Not really, but I have hope. So anyway, let's talk about these Xbox rumors that I want to talk about real quick, because I just find it super corny, right? And this is why I was like, listen, right now at the beginning of the week, I was like, yo, I got rumors to talk about, and I got layoffs to talk about. These are two of the corniest things to talk about for a person who truly loves video games and truly wants to just talk about video games. You know what I mean? By the way, I love all the Ninja Turtle content we getting in the world right now. And Walking Dead. Like, I'm eating. Well, the Turtle stuff, I think, just left Fortnite. Yeah, it did. I'm almost certain of that, because I didn't see it at the store now that I think about it. But yeah, I finished my whole thing. Got my crayon. Got everything that I needed to get from that. Well, I didn't get everything. I didn't get Splinter, and I didn't get April on there because I felt like they were nickel and diming too much with that. Once I saw Splinter and the stick was separate, I said, "Oh nah, that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. That's like you sold Snoop Dogg, but the joint was separate. Like, what are you doing? It's a bundle deal. It's a package deal. So anyway, like, man, rumors ain't it? It just ain't. Like, Sarah Bond, Mad Booty, Phil Spencer came out, and they literally told you directly to your face. They looked at the camera. You looked at your TV screen, your computer screen, your phone screen, wherever you watch that podcast, and you heard them say, not even them. You heard, just to be clear, you heard Sarah Bond say to your face, "We're gonna speak on new hardware, basically, at the end of the year." They told you that like a week and a half ago, like 2 weeks now. I think it's exactly 2 weeks to the day now, something like that. They told you 2 weeks ago, "We're gonna tell you this fall about new hardware." Rumors come out and everybody runs with them. People want, "Yo, we're gonna make 50,000 videos," and maybe you might say I'm guilty about it because I'm talking about it. But this video isn't about that. We already had leaks. This is what I'm saying. We had leaks of hardware already. We've seen it. Sphere, new controller with potentially all the bells and whistles that we wanted in the Xbox controller for me personally, since controllers had motion in it, I was like, yeah, I want motion in the Xbox controller. I want to play Halo with some motion. I want to play Gears with some motion. I do. I really, really do. So we got that controller revealed. Exciting, right? And then Sarah Bond, again, straight at the camera. New hardware this fall. I don't know about launching it. But we're definitely going to see new hardware, right? That's guaranteed. She said it to our face. So the rumors come out and be like, yeah, on June, you know what I'm saying? In June, it's going to be this white series, that's right, you know what I mean? And it's going to be like this all digital thing. And it's like, how y'all going to come above them and be like, yeah, in June? If it was in June, they would have just said, oh, yeah, in a few weeks. That was a spoiler, right? To shut people up, like, yo, new hardware. Because, oh, no, they're going with third party. No more Xboxes. So there's new hardware here, future hardware beyond. Biggest technical leap. If it was literally in June, they would have just said, yo, oh, no, we got new hardware that we're going to share with y'all in June. Then we would have all been like, oh, they share. So it's going to launch probably in the fall. But they said share new things with us in June. But made it sound open-ended. Like it could be like, maybe we could see it in June and it could launch in the fall. But not, like they're going to talk about it in the fall. But maybe by talk about it, they mean it's going to be launching in the fall. The point is, something's happening in the fall with new hardware. And they're like, no. The rumor mongers, chill. Why would you listen to them? June. And then people are like, yo, June is happening. Like, bro, no, fall is happening. Factually. Nothing's happening in June. Oh, you don't know that, Rad? Whatever you say, we'll see. Let's see when we get there. Let's see. All right? So when that happens in June, don't get it twisted. They're talking about out and about. You could go buy. I'm not talking about June revealing. You reveal in June, then launch in the fall. That's exactly what I felt Sarah Bond was basically talking about. If she just reveals it in the fall, I'm like, that also feels like what she was talking about. It was kind of, like a lot of the shit they do is, hold on, what you mean exactly? But for real, it's like, yeah, they talking about launching in June already. I'm like, and then people running with this, and I'm like, why is it with Xbox it's always like, yo, the sky is falling? Like, all this shit that happened with PlayStation, now people already want to be like, oh, yeah, look, Toys for Bob, they left. And then Microsoft don't know what they do. And it's like, y'all making this about Xbox? This is an Activision Toys for Bob situation more than anything. You know what I'm saying? But just to move away from the Sony thing, and then be the ones who always want to be, fear-mongering about Xbox. And you can't blame them. They get clicks, and a lot of y'all actually believe the shit, be fearful, be throwing your Xboxes away based off rumors. Like, you could go actually back on the NX podcast and go. If you're new to this, I would say subscribe. If you're new, like the video, I appreciate that. And then go check out the previous videos of when all those rumors came out, how I reacted. And I just was like, ha ha ha, y'all dumb. Like, what's new? What's different? What's changing? Oh, Aaron, the sky is falling. Get the games out. People were like, no, just take the games out of Game Pass. Stop putting first party in. Do anything you gotta do, Xbox. Anything. And then I'm just like, yo. They've been putting games. Why Minecraft Legends then? That don't count. Minecraft don't count. Call of Duty 10-year deals don't count. It's going to Nintendo. That don't count. Fuck. All right. Like sometimes I feel like I'm in a different industry from everybody else. I'm looking and it's like, what y'all on about again? And I look and it's all right. So it's simple, A to Z, and yet it's literally 1+1, and they doing division. They doing algebra, but it's literally 1+1 is 2, and they go crazy. And I'm like, and they do this off rumors all the time. And what I come to the realization of, when it was Nintendo and Nintendo was always doing, we would be like, yo, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Nintendo ain't doing, fuck y'all. That's basically what Nintendo fans did. Be genuinely honest. Oh, Nintendo don't. The Switch is, what? We got $8 billion in the goddamn vote. We could have multiple Wii U like failures. And why y'all talking only about the Wii U when the 3DS is right there stomping? Exactly. Chest out, confident, didn't give a fuck. That's always what it's been with Nintendo fans. I know. I'm one. And that's the energy I had all the time. PlayStation fans, theirs is, yo, look at all this crazy shit Sony doing. They nickel and diming you, they nickel and diming you, they nickel and diming you. They like to put their heads in the sand, face down, ass up, and then let whatever happens. That's what they do. You know this, I know this, everybody know this, and you seeing now. Like, I've been talking about this for a decade. I used to get so much pushback on this. Today, who the fuck is gonna give me pushback on that for real, genuinely, with their full heart, and genuinely with their soul in their hand, saying, God, strike me down if, you know what I'm saying, if this guy's lying. Like, bro, I'm not lying. This is what I'm telling you. This is what I said. Listen, everything I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be on the right side of history, and then we're gonna look back at it and be like, see, told you. Right now it's that day. I don't want to do the see told you, but the told you so was there based off, well, Iwata told us, and then I was like, I kept telling you, like, yo, this ain't it. I'm like, how you gonna make games if you don't got, games aren't made by computers. You're like, yo, AI coming, we don't need people. Wanna bet? You think AI could make a better game than a human? Wanna bet? Because I promise you, it ain't never gonna happen. It ain't never gonna happen. You mean never? Not one day. No. AI, listen, the day that AI is actually like the human brain to the T, I'm gonna say, you know what it still lacks though? Spirit, texture, culture, DNA. It ain't never gonna have that. Those are the things that truly make art, make it sing. And you think you're gonna get rid of it and be like, yeah, we're gonna make AI fill in the blank. AI is gonna write the script. AI is gonna, all right, you go do that. You go let AI write the script and see what happens. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, the rumors never stop with Xbox, right? Like I said, Nintendo fans, they do what they do. PlayStation fans do what they do. Xbox fans, they literally have no faith in Xbox. These are the guys who kept your library. Listen to this shit. Like, I wish, like, you gonna clip something of this? Clip this. These are the guys who kept your library, gave you revolutionary features like quick resume, FPS boost, auto HDR. How are they revolutionary? Do they affect all my fucking games? Most of my goddamn games, they're revolutionary. Smart delivery. The fact that now you can buy one and not have to go elsewhere. While Nintendo is like, you can't even buy a legacy. You can only rent it. Sony's like, what they doing so we could try to follow them and copy them? And it's like, these guys are just at the forefront. Like, look, you buy your games here, you got it. Like, I always bring this up. When I got my 1X, and it was so easy to set up with the phone, like, just use your phone. Oh, do you want to download your games? And I saw Limbo pop up. I was like, Limbo. For when it came out, day one, on the Xbox 360. Still there. Plays better than ever now. My baby, my game. And I went ahead and downloaded Inside and everything else. Like, yo. And now you look, it's like, own games. How many owns games? I own hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Some free through gold. Well, no, if you count gold, then I own shit. A lot of hundreds. But actually, I own straight up a lot. Like, I buy a lot of games all the time. All the time. Like I just told you, I'm gonna get that Geometry Survivors, right? I saw Seafood's there right now for $13. I'm like, I'm feeling like you're gonna get on sale and then you're gonna go into Game Pass because you just went to PlayStation's thing. I saw that on Twitter on the, on their PlayStation Plus service. So I'm like, maybe that'll be the thing, because a couple games overlap, not a lot, but a couple. So I was like, maybe I should wait, But then they got some DLC there, some new costumes and stuff. So I don't know. It's so cheap. I was like, I don't really care if I get burned. I don't even look at it like getting burned. Like I really don't. Like I mean, I guess if I spent like $50 on the game, and then it's like, oh yeah, the literally the minute I press buy, that's just a Game Pass. Well, then you can still refund it because you ain't even play. But you know what I mean? Like I get it. Like there was people who was like caught by a Dead Island, right? That was on sale. People bought it for like I don't know, like 40, $30, and then it came into Game Pass. And I'm like, who cares? You got the game. You know what I'm saying? And I think that game's gonna have like DLC or something, if I'm not mistaken. So, you in there. It's all good. I listen. I own. This is the thing with Xbox ecosystem. I own games so out of whack. Like I own Ninja Turtles, Shredder's. No, no. All right, Shredder's Revenge, Streets of Rage, and Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 5 currently. I don't own those games. I own all the DLC. Well, I ain't get the Mr. X DLC for Streets of Rage yet, but I'll get it once I actually buy the game, which is on sale right now. Like, so it's like, yeah, Turtles, I got all those Sagio Jimbo, all of that. Played through all that multiple times. Love that game. But I was like, it's in Game Pass. I got Game Pass. I've had it for years already. You know what I'm saying? For what, like 7 years already? So it's like, I always got it. So what's the point in buying it while it's there? If it's gonna leave, I'm gonna know and I can get it on a discount whenever. So it's just like that's the thing with the ecosystem. It's so good like that. Like it's just weird. And in certain third party games, like I talked about last week, like Mortal Kombat, I bought that. Mortal Kombat 11. Because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play through that before I ever get to playing one. And when I was on my PC, I was like, oh, Mortal Kombat 11 there to play, like the one I own, and it's on Game Pass. Like, that's cool. And I saw like Phil Spencer actually responded to somebody on Xbox Live and was like, well, do we still call it Xbox Live? Yeah, it is Xbox Live. I mean, fuck, it's Xbox Live forever. That's the online what it's called. So yeah, on live, and he responded and was like, yeah, maybe hopefully this year they'll get all your purchases played through the cloud. Now I want to know, do you need a Game Pass subscription to access your catalog through the cloud? Because I look at it like, in a way, it's like, oh, that's messed up, but at the same time, you got to pay for the shit. So, I mean, for them to keep these buildings running and everything. So the fee of is like that be a benefit that games outside of your Game Pass you could actually access through the Game Pass cloud stuff. I think it could work like that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it just being completely free. Obviously, I would want it to be free, like completely. But if it's like, oh no, you can access everything you want through the cloud, everything you got, everything you own, as long as you're a Game Pass Ultimate member, then it's like, all right, fine, whatever. It is what it is. That's still a cool thing, though. It's still a cool thing that they're doing. But yeah, all these cool things that they're doing, to go back to the point I was making, long ass winded way of coming back to it. These dudes do all these cool things. If Xbox right now was absolutely selling the most hardware, due to the fact that, and they knew statistically, it's like, yeah, because of all the shit that they're doing for purchases, yeah, the whole industry would have changed. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's wild. But people was like, nah, we gonna go with the $70 thing. We prefer that. You know what I mean? Like, we prefer that. It's all right. Y'all do you. We'll do us over here. While at the same time, you'll be funding things going on over here. Whether it's Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty Mobile got 50 million people already signed up. 50 million. That's insanity. Like, they're about to make, I mean, so much money. Let me look at the chat. I haven't looked at the chat in a minute. Digital Green said the largest technical leap you have ever seen in a generation. Oh yeah. Power's not everything, but yeah, you're curious to see how the game's gonna look. Yeah. The thing is, like, why can't you make a game look really pretty, like a Hi-Fi Rush? Like, I saw so many people like, oh, why Hi-Fi Rush is not on Switch? When they said Hi-Fi Rush, I was like, oh, Super Nintendo Switch. That's what I was saying here. I was like, that shit is gonna be butt ugly on Switch, run like crap. It's a music game. None of that makes sense to me. That's a Super Nintendo Switch game. And I even said, yo, I think that Microsoft was like, nah, we gonna do the show. We gonna wait because they're about to announce this thing. I said maybe they're gonna announce the hardware or whatever. They still did wait for them to announce their stuff at the specific console events, the Nintendo Direct. So I was kind of on the money, just not with the hardware. Yeah, man, like. What the hell am I? Oh, did this match finish? Let me switch this up. My bad. Yeah, like there's a lot of moving parts in this industry right now, but none of it to me is, oh, video game crash stuff. Like, nah, I don't think it's none of that at all. I switch it up. This was last night actually playing with Rick Grimes. That's the other thing. You got turtles in all the games. You got Rick Grimes and and I got Rick Grimes in Fortnite and Call of Duty now. Some Mishona's in there and all that. Like it's super cool to see all these IPs. Like there's so much things that they could like. What Fortnite showed the world is like, yo, hodgepodge is okay, and I'm like, it wasn't Fortnite that did that shit first. Smash Brothers showed it when it was like, yeah, you could have Bayonetta fighting goddamn Earthbound characters. Like you lying. Like if somebody would have told you that, 30 years ago, it's like, yo, they were like, that just doesn't make no sense. Like, these realistic characters mixing with these. And that's what I say. It's like you could do a Forza like Warhog game or something like that, and you could have like all the vehicles from Forza. I know it's real cars, like that's kind of boring, but still, have a Warhog in there, have the Gears of War vehicles. There's vehicles in that shit, like Halo vehicles beyond the Warhog, like have vehicles from other games, get third party deals, and have other things and IPs, and just make like a Mario Kart style thing. And it's like, yeah, so what if you're not gonna be Mario Kart and sell 60 million units? But if you sell 10, that ain't good. Maybe not. I mean, Spider Man sold 10, and he's like, yeah, and they like, yeah, we find everything. We find everything. Like, come on, man. I know they ain't fire everybody, but that's what it feels like. It's like, yeah, we don't care. We just gonna fire people from everywhere. So it feels like, yeah, everything. It's like, yeah, we'll just pick at everything. Like like there's no immunity for a Last of Us developer, a Spider Man developer. Nah, I'm like, that's crazy. That's absolutely wild, and it shouldn't be that way, at all, at all. But it seems to be the norm. Um. So yeah, all the Xbox rumors, it's just tiring. But let's talk real quick. Super Nintendo Switch coming in 2025, and this rumor of Metroid Prime 4 being set up to fail by launching this year on a weak ass Switch. But Prime looked great. Yeah, Prime was a GameCube game with GameCube level design and everything. Poor Prime 4, Prime 3 to the you know to the actual Switch. Let me see how that is, and then Prime 4 gotta be visually a jump from that because those games are over over 15 years old. What are we doing? What are we doing? So I've been saying this since Prime was in development. Once they said the restart, I said, cool, just save it for the next console. It's gonna take you enough time to develop it anyway. Was I wrong? Look how long it's been. Like, was I wrong? Look how long it's been. So it's like, yeah, just save it for the next console. Oh, they could do, launch it on both. Metroid is not one of those games that it's like, oh yeah, the install base of the Switch, is gonna boost that game. No, you know what boosts that game? The people buying the new hardware who want something that makes their hardware sing, and they go, oh yeah, look, bam, Metroid Prime right there. How much did Twilight Princess sell on GameCube? A million. How much did Breath of the Wild sell on Wii U? A million. How much did uh, Skyward Sword sell at the end of the Wii U life cycle? It's the worst selling 3D Zelda game. It sold like 3 million and change. How much did Majora's Mask sell at the end of the life cycle of the 64? Like 3 million or something like that. At that point, it was one of the lowest selling ones, right? Successful still, but one of the lowest selling ones. It was like because putting your thing out at the tail end of the console when everybody already knows that the next console exists is right there. You're gonna have people be like, yeah, I'll wait to get it on the next thing. If you don't port it over, then you screwed. And if you ain't got smart delivery, then you ain't playing it on the next thing at all. Like, hopefully they got stuff like that. But I look, I was like, dude, Metroid is the type of game that needs to have its funny enough Breath of the Wild moment. So have it on both. Again, I don't know if not that I don't know. I certainly know that Metroid is not that type of game where it's like, oh, the install base is gonna matter. No, the install base of the new hardware is gonna matter more to that game. People buying that game day one. If that game comes out and it's like, and I know it's wild to do it, but it's like, why not just drop a 3D Mario, drop Samus the same day with some other fun multiplayer games because you need some multiplayer, something Nintendo multiplayer, and then have your launch window. with an awesome announcement that, oh look, Grand Theft Auto 6 is actually going to run on this hardware. It's coming. You got a 10-year deal for Call of Duty, and then you're like, look, Mario Kart right there. Damn, that console is guaranteed success. And then you got Metroid there day one, where it's, oh, it's the early thing. People get to buy. People just going to buy that, pick that up day one. It's just going to do numbers. You know what I'm saying? And then with the hype of people who wanted that game, it'll do even more numbers. Like, I just don't see the point in launching this game, sending this game out to die, because you see how Metroid games sell anyway. So I just feel like it's gonna get screwed. And I know it's the Switch. Everything has sold better on the Switch. Yeah, and I would hope that actually, and I know Dread is the best selling Metroid game now. Even though Nintendo doesn't scream it from rooftops, you never see it in the top selling list or nothing. So it's just like it is hard to believe. They must not really care, or must not see it as a success. I don't know, or must not like the IP and just make it wild because we always cry, yo, give us another Metroid. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's wild. It's just not what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like personally, but if it happens, I'm like cool. But I've already said, and I tweeted this, and I'm dead serious. I'm not buying no more games on the Switch. I'm done. Why? Not because I don't like the way the games look, the way they run. No, I'm gonna still be playing games on the Switch. I'm not saying I'm not playing games on the Switch. I said I'm not going to buy games on the Switch. So, will I get GameFly to rent a game here, rent the thing there? Yeah, I'm not paying $60 for no old games. I'm just not. Especially when you just sold me one of my favorite games of all time for 40. You know what I'm saying? Which was Prime, and especially after they did us dirty with the 3D Mario collection, moved it off storefront. It was fully priced and didn't give us Galaxy 2. That was whack. So it's like, yeah, I just don't want to buy no old games. I'll rent them. I'll play them. If I ever see them cheap on sale, then I'll pick them up. But $60 for them, paying premium for Paper Mario, paying premium. I'm not. I'm just not. But people never play those games. If people want to do that, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? And why I'm not purchasing games right now in this thing? Because, well, I saw what they did with the Switch, and it worked out really, really well for them. They released a lot of games again. So if you got Prime coming out, I'll rent it. I'll play it. But I'm gonna buy the best version of it on the next hardware because I don't know if they're gonna do. I could see patents all day. We see Nintendo patents all day, and shit don't show up in their games or show up in any real form. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not gonna believe. Oh yeah, they're gonna have upscaling technology because they patent upscaling technology stuff. They do patents every day. Don't mean they're gonna do something. It's like when I saw everybody speculating like, oh, all these new super fast Samsung 256 gig uh, SD cards. Like they're for the new Nintendo console, and that's probably why the Nintendo console got pushed back, so they could have 1 TB, 2 TB in there. Well, I'm like, yeah, I will hope you have like 1 to 2 TB. You're gonna be getting Call of Duty games in there for real. They should just sell a 2 TB one out the gate. It's a 1 TB and 2 TB, not different, SKUs, but just that more memory version, and then you got your those fast Samsung cards that you could buy. Because I don't know what they what they doing right now, like ain't it? It's like, oh yeah, we give you a little bit of memory, and then like the games you're about to be getting, like Call of Duty. This game is no lie. I'm not even. Oh, I don't got my memory card on my in my Series X right now. It's in my S. Yeah, I was actually gonna look. I think it's over 204 megabytes right now, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't got the campaign installed. I got Warzone and multiplayer, Modern Warfare 3. There's people who got Modern Warfare 1, 2, 3, Warzone, and all their campaigns installed. And I'm like, so you just got one of the 2 TB cards. Oh, why did I pause? You got one of those 2 TB cards, and I mean, just not just basically for just basically for Call of Duty. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I won't be surprised. Like there's a lot of people who just play Call of Duties on their PlayStation. I mean, on their consoles. Like that's all they play. So it's like it makes sense. Nah, so yeah, what y'all want to talk about, man? Like I know there was some stuff in the Oh yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say is Switch coming in 2025 is mad disappointing to me, especially when and listen, not yet, not yet. It's not mad disappointing because if you got Prime 4, if you got a bunch of new games actually coming out this year, and it's not just Peach and a bunch of old games like remasters, like oh yeah, now we're gonna get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I know people are gonna be ecstatic about that, and I'm like, cool. I was there day one for both of those games, and I was there day one when they got re-released on the Wii U. I own those games. I'm not buying those games again. So they have zero appeal factor to me. Now, if they go in there and say Wind Waker got a Bowser's Fury thing where there's this side story, yeah, then yeah, I'm in there for real, for real. For what? I'm in there, but nah, like I don't care for that. Like, and if you got a whole year now of just nothing really except obviously you got evergreen titles, which is good, but no new games, and it's like, oh yeah, the year drought, because it will be a drought. Whether people want to say, oh yeah, they got this game, were they old games? Were they re-releases? Cool. For a lot of Nintendo fans, which a lot of us been for many, many years, yes, it's a drought. You could spin it, you could say whatever you want. I hate when people want to use old games to fill in gaps. I hate when old games or even remakes of an old game get nominated for Game of the Years and things like that. Like, nah, I'm good. It's old. It's from its era. It's from its time. I love goddamn Lord of the Rings. You released Lord of the Rings today. Should it win 12 Oscars again? Nah, it did that already. They'd be like, nah, but look, they updated the graphics to the battles and stuff like that. So it's a whole new movie now. Sure, for me to watch and enjoy, but it's not a whole new movie which it should make eligible for it to be nominated. It's not a, oh, but what if they remade it? You know what I'm saying? Well, if it's remade, listen, it's different. Now we getting into different aspects of shit. But anyway, uh, no Pokemon this year. They That's true, Green Tea. They claim that they're gonna sell 15 million this year, which will put it past the PlayStation 2 and the DS, making it the number one hardware of all time. Uh, that's good, and the hardware generations with Nintendo being number one. They basically started video game hardware, you know what I'm saying, in its current form. I know Atari was there. I started with Atari. I'm just saying, like, and for it to be like, all right, when you think about what's the best selling video game console, Nintendo, handheld, Nintendo, yeah, cool. And consoles will never sell the way they sold this generation ever again. Why? Well, because they're on their way out. Whether they want to kick in, and I'm not even talking about PlayStation, Xbox. I'm talking about Nintendo right now, kicking and screaming, whether they want to or not. With the moves that these guys are going to end up making, and the way they're going to start changing the dynamic of gamers' mindsets of, oh wait, why the fuck do I gotta buy this in order to play this game? When I'm playing God of War on Xbox and I'm playing Halo on PlayStation, and I'm playing Gears of War and Spider-Man and Indiana Jones on Steam, and on Epic Game Store I'm playing fucking Horizon Forbidden East. Let's just make a new one, and I'm playing Horizon 7, whatever the case may be, on Epic Games. So like, and everything is just a melting pot. We all playing. Like, I tell you, like, all this console war shit is cute, but I tell you this all the time. The people who I link up with and I play Fortnite with and I play Call of Duty with, it's people on PC, it's people on PlayStation. My Call of Duty people, most of them are on PlayStation 5. And that's why I make the jokes. Like, yo, they play PlayStation. Because that's what they play. I be like, yo, what other games y'all play on PlayStation? None. Like, when you bring, oh, I used to play Uncharted 2. I'm like, yeah, me too. That was over a decade ago, bro. And I loved it. Like, why y'all just can't make that? Like, oh, faction, we got to make a big thing. Yo, that mode in Uncharted 2, if you played Uncharted 2 back in the day, I forgot what it was. Like, I'm like, I think it was like some relic or some shit. It was like this gold thing. It was like capture the flag. You had to throw it from one side to the other. And you would just have your friends, and y'all just throwing the damn thing from one side to the other, running with that shit, trying to score. That was so fun. Small ass levels too, but the gameplay of Uncharted, ducking behind covers, being able to climb stuff, it gave it this dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh nah, we got to change the whole fucking thing. And it's like, yo, nobody makes Time Splitters, but they'll tell you, oh, a game like Time Splitters won't sell. How you know? Make it online with the creator character, 100 characters like Time Splitters Future Perfect had, and see what happens. They don't even try. They don't even try. Oh yeah, a game like Quake ain't gonna sell today. How you know? Maybe there's mad people want to play. Why the fuck does Counter-Strike still got so many plays then? And that's literally rooted in old ass shit. But, oh yeah, these games won't sell today. It's like, so what? We gonna get Perfect Dark, and y'all not gonna have proximity mines and guns that are proximity mines and laptop guns that you throw on the wall. And hold up, are we not even gonna have a multiplayer in Perfect Dark? Like, and then if it fails, I'm gonna bring you right up to the front of the goddamn congregation and say, your fault. You did this. Nobody else to blame to you. Perfect Dark needs to, yo, Perfect Dark needs to deliver on the vision. It's 2024. When I had that Perfect Dark big, the giant preview in Nintendo Power, anybody who, look it up on the internet, maybe you could find it. And you know I'm not lying, I'm not making this up. They had the big preview. They talked about the game. The comparisons to GoldenEye is big and better. You're going to need the expansion pack, just like you did for Majora's Mask, in order to actually be able to put bots and do this and the multiplayer to be. This is not fake. This is what was there. And then they end it with, yo, this is Perfect Dark. Microsoft could do this right now, right? They got apps on phones. They could do everything. Make it fun. Make it interesting. Oh, no, it's too real. It's too real. Back then, they had the Game Boy camera. Take your picture. They had it in the game. They showed this shit. Take your picture, basically Leatherface it onto the characters' faces, because that's what it looked like, those faces back in GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. And then play the game, run around with your friends, and y'all actually playing as yourselves in the game. Bro, we got avatars, we create each other. I don't give a fuck what oh no, this is too rated R. You know why like it's kids are shooting kids, they're putting themselves in the game with this app, a real picture of themselves. It's just fun, it's a game, it's bullshit. It's not real. It's literally laser tag. Just think of like it's Call of Duty. Oh, look, it's a real gun. Yeah, whatever, man. If I could put my face there and I'm playing around instead of Rick Grimes, it's me actually in there because I got a Call of Duty app, right? Those 50 million mobile players could just snap their face and actually be in the game. You think they wouldn't? Hell, if you monetize that and just say you just got to pay $5, you can put yourself in the game. You just got to download this app and take a picture. Like, I don't know, some shit like that. You think they wouldn't do it? Of course they would. And in Fortnite they would too. And they made you a Fortnite cartoony looking character. Of course they would. It's the same reason if you announce a creator character for these games, people will go crazy right now. Like, yeah, Warzone's getting a creator character. What? Fortnite's getting a creator character. What? Like, it's just, bro. The writing be on the wall. It'd be so black and white, basic, and these companies just be scared. But Perfect Dark, like, that needs to have multiplayer. You're not gonna put multiplayer in Perfect Dark? What are you doing? Like, it's okay to just make online games. Like, yo, EA had the balls, and that's why I said, yo, listen, I don't give a fuck what you could say about EA. You gotta give them props. They gave them the budget to make a fully voice-acted, incredible animation, incredible graphics, 1,000 different gameplay genre in it game that forcefully had to be played with 2 players, and they had EA not be assholes and be like, yo, you gotta pay 60, you gotta pay 60. No, they had a free trial thing. You can get on it. You don't even gotta own the game. Your friend can invite you. The one person buys it, you can invite whoever you want to play the game. They just gotta download this thing. Come on, that was fired. They did that, and EA used to be rated one of the worst video game companies, whatever. And now it seems like they giving the most creative freedom in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying, to Hazel, like, that's for sure, right? And I know that they've earned it, obviously, with the games that they've made now to do whatever the fuck they want. And I just look at it as like, yeah, these guys be scared of even that online to games. And it's like, online can save you in a lot of ways. Co-op it just invites people to play because, yeah, now it's like, oh, yeah, come play this game with me. So now more people are playing it because it's an invitation. It's a group activity, right? And then if on the streaming front, people might want to watch it. Oh, let's watch them play it together and da. It's like, it's a lot that they could do, but they just don't. And they always feel like, oh no, if we do a multiplayer, it got to be super huge and super big. I'm like, no. The number one thing you got to do is just have it be online, not just have it be local. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, I would go as far as to say, even whack ass Metroid Prime 2 multiplayer, if they remastered Metroid Prime 2 today, and they announced that shit today, that it's coming next week, and they said, oh yeah, and the multiplayer is going to be online. We're not adding nothing to it, but it's going to be online. You think people wouldn't play that shit, be a little bit excited about it? Of course they would. If they even said we're going to expand it a little bit, it's not going to be much bigger. It's not going to be Battle Royale. It's not going to have perks and all this nonsense. Well, Hell, Metroid Prime Hunters was kind of early with the stuff like that, with all the different abilities per hunter. But anyway, the point is, it would do well, and it would bring a new essence and hype to the thing. If they announce a Mario, like I've been saying for a while, the next Mario game is a 3D Mario game, open sandbox world, just like Odyssey is, where you could collect the moons. Why we got to be together? Why I can't be Mario? You could be Donkey Kong. You could go that way. I could go this way. Or they could be things we do together, or the game design, just like It Takes Two. There's mad stuff you could do, but it feels like they rather talk about what you can't do than try to do anything. A lot of the times, it's just like, what are you waiting for? Like, why haven't we gotten a new 2D Zelda at all this generation? Not one. 2D Zelda. We got to do an 11-year wait like we did 2D Mario. We could just never have a good synchronization of, like, let us have 3D. Oh, but who's gonna make those games? I don't know. Humans. Like, hire more people, get new teams, get dudes who played top positions to maybe get off of working on the next big Zelda game and let them lead the next 2D one. With a smaller team, because we've seen what small teams could do with visuals, and we know there's third parties out there who got dreams of working on these games. You could hire one of them. It's okay to share. Sharing is caring. They shared with Mario Donkey Kong. That was awesome. Not Mario Donkey Kong. Mario Rabbids. They shared with that. You know what I'm saying? They shared with Cadence of Hyrule. Some weird shit like that nobody asked for, but cool that they did it, right? Like, what's the problem? Like, just deliver, yo. Give people different things. See what sticks. Use your IP. Milk your IP in a positive way. Because it ain't milking. It's saying, yeah, we're going to. Milking your IP is making the same game over and over, yearly. That's what it feels like, right? So people be like, oh, Call of Duty be milked, right? That's always been, the thing that Call of Duty had to fight. Not a real big fight, because they ain't losing that. I'll tell you that much. They've been winning it. But, right? Oh, yeah, every year, making the game every year, you don't got to do that every year. Take a year off. It's all good. And, like, if you do different genres, nobody's going to say, oh, you milking it like it's a yearly game. If this year you came out with a 2D Gears of War game, right? And then next year you came out with a intimate, very corridor-based Gears of War thing. And then you come out with Gears of War 6, and it's an open, giant world, expensive $250 million game with battle passes and all this bullshit, and the free online mode and all that. You know how to do. Open up Horde, because people are like, yo, my God, you know what I'm saying? Like Helldivers is crazy. I'm like, it's just fucking Horde with no single player, no multiplayer. Like, so if this will be doing, then Microsoft, bruh, $40 Horde on PlayStation. Like, you don't get the single player. You want Marcus Phoenix story, the Kate story, you gotta get the game on Xbox or PC. But you could get Horde and stuff like that. But for real, it's like they could do anything. And it almost feels like they choose to not do anything instead of doing anything. It's weird. It's weird. And there's so much money that they could, throw around. And I know they throw around money, and sometimes you look and you like, that's what y'all thought. Like, for example, like Everwild. I'm gonna bring up Everwild, and I could wrap it up with that if I wanted to. I ain't saying I am. But Everwild. We saw Everwild like 600 years ago, right? Dinosaurs and shit. Well, dinosaurs probably go further back than that. Listen, don't quote me. But nah. Look, we saw that shit. It definitely was like the ADs and all that. Back then when we first saw Everwild. That's how long it's fucking been in video game time. And it's like, yeah, crack the code of what could Everwild be. I've talked about Everwild every year, and I've been like, yo, Everwild should just be a 4-player game, people running around in that beautiful world, and not killing enemies, but protecting enemies. Like, that's what it is. I'm not saying there ain't things that you could fight and kill. Maybe there are, but those big, beautiful animals you saw, like, yeah, you gotta go defend them from stuff, and then when they're there, you gotta, like, treat them, heal them, and you do that with anything. It could be Guitar Hero, like, the Fortnite Festival button prompts, and y'all do these dances, music, hit the notes right, and bam, the thing is healed. And if it's healed, it runs around and is happy. You can ride it. It takes you to the next area. Or if it's not going to heal, you just let it go to the other side. It doesn't get stuck in limbo. Bam, there's your game. Mystical, magical, fire, multiplayer. Add new enemies to protect. And then when you add new enemies to protect, there's new, well, not enemies, new animals to protect. There's new enemies to defend, them against. Like stuff like that. So it's like a monster hunter, but it's not exactly like it. It's more about kumbaya and and spiritual and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I would love that. I say because that game just gave off that, and it's like, oh yeah, we don't know what it's gonna be. Like then Power World comes out, and it's like, what's Power World? Some basic shit. It's like, oh, you could build here, you can get some stuff here, some animals here. It's like, yo, just go. It's a community. It adds to it, and then as you go, you could turn the game into something else. You know what I'm saying? Like Fortnite, what it was when I started playing it, when it was only build, and I started on Switch, to what it is today, it's completely different. You know what I'm saying? Call of Duty, when I started playing Call of Duty, which was Call of Duty 2 on the 360, right? But really, you could say Medal of Honor. That's the roots of it, which I played on PlayStation 1. But PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Um, like, to where it is today, it's a giant thing, you know what I'm saying? And they do crazy stuff like I could pull up zombie gameplay and stuff like this. This is me playing regular Plunder, but I got zombie stuff and all this crazy stuff that's going on right now that's completely different from the zombie mode. And it's just a lot. Like they do a lot of different things. Then they got all the, goofy games like Gun Game and all that stuff that back in the day was like made up bullshit. I think that came from like the mod scene on PC and then got actually brought into the real game. You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing. It's like you open up your game to the user base, to the players, and then say, all right, we gave players this thing to do. All right, what are they doing? Oh, they like doing that. So then if it's not literally integrated into the game, now we integrate that thing that they like doing. So it's like, yeah, now y'all can really do it and don't gotta pretend or something like that. Like, imagine these were your Pokemon and we was treating them, you could capture them and then bring them out and they could help fight, the enemies. So now you could save animals in Everwild, and the animals that you save in Everwild, you can choose to make like your summons in like a Final Fantasy. So when you fight enemies, you could do like a super attack and then they come out and just slaughter stuff. Like stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that wasn't in the game originally, but it was something that the community thought would be cool and they implemented it. And then the game becomes something more. Isn't that basically what Grounded did? And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Sea of Thieves also adapt with the community too and become something more? You know what I mean? So it's like that's a normal thing to do. But also you got to give these games time. A lot of times they be, oh yeah, this shit just came out in the flop. And I was like, yeah, and a lot of the times they came out in the flop because you didn't advertise it. Like if you actually, yo, look, you watch wrestling every week on TV. That's like the only thing you watch live, other than whenever All American is out, a new season. I watch that live, right? I'm like, name the times you've seen the Xbox commercial, and on God, never, never. Ad on YouTube when the Series X was coming out, and then when like after E3 showcase, they like turn their showcase into like a quick little ad, and you'll see that pop up on YouTube. That's it. You ever seen Hi-Fi Rush advertised? Nope. You ever see Halo Infinite advertised on TV? Nope. You ever saw Hellblade? Hellblade should be having commercials running right now. Is there one? Nope. Will they be? Nope. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, why did it sell like that? Oh yeah, we got to put it on another platform. You ain't even try. And that's not being mean. That's being factual. Like, you not even trying. Like, at least try. Like, it's weird. And I know people say, oh yeah, but they advertise a lot on TikTok and stuff like that. Cool. Oh, TikTok is real popular with the kids and cool. That's nice. Kids ain't got no money. Oh, they take their parents' money. You right. Parents. So try to catch the parents too. And y'all acting like we ain't tapped in. Like the parents of today, I'm one. Like we tapped in more than these kids into what's pop culture. Like we've come from that. These kids get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles now. It's like, yeah, that's cool. We was ripping the comic book pages, bro. Smelling the comic book pages back then. Like we really from that, from pop culture, from like me, my generation is the generation of, oh, video games. Oh, you playing video games in your mother's basement, man. I wish my mom's had a basement. We ain't have no damn basement. We ain't come from that. But for real, like, oh yeah, go play games in your mom's. Once they saw, oh yeah, games can make money and monetize. Again, it's showing up for the grilled cheese once the cheese is melted. But you ain't smash the bread down. You ain't even get the bread at the supermarket. You see what I'm saying? It's that. It's exactly that. And I just look at it and I go, yeah, man. Like, look, not advertising is the saddest thing that they do, yo. for real. Not advertise any. Look at Rick Grimes. Wait. He missing something, or should I say, he should be missing something. Spoilers, nah. But yeah, man, like it's just wild. What should I throw on? I should switch up this gameplay. I don't know. I'll throw on. I don't know if this is the same. Probably not. All right, so yeah, like I just want to make sure this ain't the same gameplay. Nah, it ain't because it's gloves there. All right, so what else? Like, I mean that's mainly what I wanted to talk about on this episode. I know it's a lot, yo, but if you've been sticking with it, consider subscribing and all that. But I'm gonna check the Discord real quick, which you could join by becoming a patron, by the way. Link in the description below, and see what questions y'all sent in. That's where that's basically my version of super chat questions, since my YouTube ain't on that level, man. It ain't on that level, but you know how I could get on that level? If y'all subscribe, man. If y'all tune in, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. So I know. If you sent the wall of text, I'm not even gonna pretend to go through that. But I know the whole thing was about emulation. Oh yeah, like see, I didn't even focus on that. Like, I feel like I glanced over that topic, didn't I? You know what the thing is with emulation? Like I said, I'm just not privy on that. So it's like if you doing that and Nintendo gonna come get you, I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh my god, a super offended by it. I never take part in it, but now saying never, don't mean that. Let me not say never, because maybe you will one day, right? Maybe one day, that you're gonna take all your games away from you. You're gonna be mad and say the only way I can get my games is emulation. God damn it! And I get it. I understand that part. The part of, well, if you're not giving me a way to access your old games, and Nintendo really is making it harder now when it's like, yeah, legacy games, we're either gonna give it to you high price $60, or we're gonna give it to you through a service where you can't ever own it. You gotta rent it. It's not good. And I remember all gamers saying that's not good. And I remember when Game Pass coming out, specifically Nintendo fans being like, "Oh, that's not good. You can't own your games. I don't want to rent my games. I want to own my games." Where that energy at? Oh, funny how it goes away when it's your favorite, the ones doing the bullshit, huh? But yeah, I call it. When it's my favorites doing bullshit, I call it as I see it. So, like with emulation, I understand all the sides of it, but I also understand that these companies, when they come for you, they gonna come for you. And if you do that shit, you playing with fire, and you might get burned. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. That's the best way I could put it. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, who's right? Da da da. The courts are gonna decide. Haven't Nintendo lost emulation cases 1,000 times before, right? And I think they've won some before. So we'll see where this Yuzu company is in the whole scheme of things, where they land. But yeah, it's it's not something that I even pay mind to. I'm not gonna pretend to either, and I'm not gonna fake rage and shit like that. Like I don't do that. When I rage for things that I'm passionate about, and y'all hear it. Like, and y'all know it's genuine. So Jack Jan, and that was from. So I started talking about it again because Ipsta sent the question about emulation. But Jack Jim asked, "What if Nintendo released the next Nintendo system in 2025 to put the nail in the coffin of the PlayStation console, fulfilling the Yamuchi promise to end those assholes and release the system in July 2025 in honor of Iwata's death?" Oof, I don't think Nintendo really does celebrations of milestones, especially not deaths. I don't think they're gonna do that. And even like celebrating, oh, the year of this or the year of that. Oh, it's been 10 years since this. Or 10. They be pretty bad with that. But um, the whole nail in the PlayStation console coffin, I don't know about all that. Anytime soon, they're doing that themselves. That's gonna happen slowly. The market is basically phasing them out, like nice and slowly. I'm sure they could do stuff to buy themselves time, try to do like a on the go platform, on the go PlayStation 7 or something like that. You know, uh, but yeah, with the 2025 thing, I don't really like the 2025. I wish that they were dropping this fall, but then they probably like, listen, if PlayStation is dropping the PlayStation 4 Pro, no games at all, but yeah, they doing that, and then Xbox got new hardware, and they doing it. And Nintendo's probably like, man, let's just get out the way and let's just do what worked the last time. We revealed it real tight and launched it. You know that was a real tight gap right there. Let's just say that it was. Here it is, and now you can go purchase it. It was that fast. They probably want to do that again. I get it. I respect it, but I still feel this is too long to wait for the next Nintendo console. Like if Sony was to be like, yeah, here we go, PlayStation 6, and I start eating. Like I just feel like 2025 is gonna be the year of Grand Theft Auto. You gotta have Grand Theft Auto on your console. Period. If not, a lot of people not even gonna look at your console in 2025. They're gonna be looking at, oh yeah, look, there's a PlayStation Pro right here. Oh look, I can get this and play this on Series X or whatever the case. Like that's what they're gonna do. It's gonna be a lot of focus on hardware being sold based around where Grand Theft Auto is. That's what I'm saying. Like if they got Grand Theft Auto on the Switch successor, Grand Theft Auto 6, that would be a huge W for them. And I'm almost certain that they're not going to have it. But if they did, it would be a huge W for them. So they're already going to be facing that. That no matter what they come out with, they're not going to have the number one game. Not saying they can't still have 50 million sellers, they could. But they're not going to have the number one game. That honor is going to Grand Theft Auto. You know it, and I know it. Unless that game comes out and it's completely broken. And even then, it's still probably going to be the best selling game of the year because most people won't believe it. They're going to want to see for themselves. Or they're going to get it because they're going to patch it and they're going to fix it. I'm talking about worst case scenario. Like it's bad. Comes out bad, broken, and then layoffs. And it's never going to get fixed. Like that's not going to happen for GTA. But yeah, it could. Let's just say. It could potentially. But for the most part, yeah. That game is going to be the number one selling game. Everything with that game is going to be through the roof perfect. And consoles are going to sell more. Like people like myself who just made a joke. Oh yeah, they're gonna launch a PlayStation Pro with no game. That is their game. What you mean? What you mean? Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Fortnite. Those are the number one games on PlayStation. Not none of they first party games. Don't believe them lies. I've been saying this for years. Those are the games people buy PlayStation for, and best believe people gonna go blindly and getting PlayStations just for Grand Theft Auto. If they got the rights to that too, oh, they're gonna think it's exclusive to PlayStation. So that's gonna do just like Hogwarts did last year, but even worse. Cause you know what I mean, or better, really. Even better number wise. Like it's just gonna be out of this world. The sales of it, and who gonna benefit from that? PlayStation themselves. But the thing is, are they even making money off the hardware they selling? And if you're selling hardware and nobody buying the games, that you see what I'm saying? It's a tough conundrum. It's a tough conundrum. But yeah, I just really want to see this industry plateau. You know what I'm saying? Like truly. And by that I mean with all the fire and stuff, like everything is just balanced. All right, we are at a this is what we're gonna do that. Like I don't know if it's gonna happen though, because if it's every year, the number gotta be higher than the year before if it's a failure. There's no breaking even. I just gotta do this and again, by street rules and what I've seen in my life. So here we go. And I'm gonna end this podcast with this. Every person who I've ever seen really move any kind of weight, and by weight I mean actually drugs, in the projects, in the hood, right? That's what I'm talking about. E- Every single one, when they was doing good and they had the block on fire, but not on fire in the term of it's hot due to the police. I mean on fire due to the fiends coming to buy and buy and buy, right? Things would be great, and I would watch it. And I've seen this a million times in my lifetime. And I would watch and I go, when does the individual feel the money's right, good, and now I could start stunting? Because every single time, and I'm not making this up, I'm telling you factually, all right? Like I put this on my daughter, I put this on my own life. I'm not making this up. This is real life. This is for real. Oh yeah, I got the whip. Whoop whoop. Gone. Oh yeah, look, I'm stunting. Bang bang. Gone. No matter what, that always that I gotta be bigger, gotta be bigger, gotta be bigger, gotta that shit in my whole life, and this is probably why I say to this day I don't got a lot, is because every time I seen the people who get a lot, the shit never end good. The hustler will either go to jail or get smoked the minute that they start showing that they doing well, that they doing good, when they start buying more. So now you buying more, so that means that you eating so good that the other guy over there ain't, and issues. That this is real life. And I look at it and I say, listen, they all applies the same way. So they always wanted to be bigger, 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 and they bleeding out. So what they doing now, instead of giving themselves the pow pow in their hand and saying you doing bad, they gonna know we not producing more money now, so I'm gonna fire my workers and da da da. Okay, now let's bring it back to the drug dealer. If the drug dealer got workers, he blew up, he got workers, and they moving stuff for him. If he says, yeah, y'all not hitting the quotas I want, you ain't moving. Yeah, he could get rid of one and then put somebody else who's gonna stay out all day, all night, breaking night, so that the numbers is up. But yeah, moving that one person away, you just made an enemy there. And in video game terms, it's just you just made somebody salty. I don't want to be in this industry no more. What the fuck? I can't have faith in it. They're gonna move away. In street terms, that person might come back and get you one day just because you did them dirty. You see what I'm saying? But if you just did get rid of your people, let's say, and didn't replace them, right? And you're the guy on the street making money that way. Guess what? You ain't gonna make no money now because you fire your people. You got so angry that the number wasn't up that you said, I'm gonna fire y'all. What the fuck do I need y'all for? Y'all useless. All right, are you gonna stand out there now and do what you used to do as a young boy now as an OG? No, you're not, right? So guess what? The money slow up and eventually you just stop selling and then the new generation comes up right from under you and they're gonna say, OG, get out the way or we gonna move you out the way and you're gonna move out the way. Again, I've seen this happen a million times. That's it. I ain't gonna say no more. I ain't gonna elaborate. I'm not gonna claim that I was the one who said, "Yo, you gotta get out the way." I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying I've seen this happen, and it's the same thing with video games. So now that's what they're doing. Now they're bleeding out all these big guys. People are like, oh, the industry is no, it's not the whole industry. The industry is going. They're gonna plateau. They're gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And gamers is gonna support. We love video games. You know, but yeah, the big guys who always want the bigger, bigger number. Oh yeah, they're gonna hurt. And what makes me sad is because it's not like, oh, I gotta. That's a positive. No, when they hurt, they take it out on the people who make the stuff we like. I've never had to worry about a 3D Mario game because the people who make, like I said when I started this podcast, the people who make those games are the people who make it. Who the fuck is making Halo right now? Exactly. And you can say, oh yeah, they got the dude who worked on the Master Chief Collection. All right, cool. Was he there at the beginning of Halo? Halo's not that old. Because the people who were there at the beginning should have still been there now. And I know it's Bungie. I know the answer to this. I'm just saying. Maybe he's from Bungie or whatever. My point is, when you go into a Mario game, like the hype and the expectation, you know what's coming. Nobody is sitting there going to argue with me and say, oh yeah, there's not going to be a Mario game at the reveal of the Nintendo console. You know it is. And if it's not going to be long after. It's been enough years already since the last 3D Mario game. It's going to happen. And you know the game's going to be good because you know who's making it. When you don't know who's making a game, you get time splitters situation. Right now. Oh yeah, they firing people at Free Radicals. So who making the time splitters game y'all claim y'all was making? Oh yeah, the Ninja Turtles Last Ronin game is happening. Hype as fuck for that. Me. Like just the same way I'm hyped for Blade, I'm more hyped for Ninja Turtle. Single player, just like Blade, like, Last Ronin, that's gonna be epic. Right? Oh yeah, bunch of Layoffs over there. So why am I? Well, now I'm more hyped for Blade. Cause why am I gonna be hyped about? I don't even know if that game is gonna come out. If it's even gonna happen. You just fired a bunch of the people who was working on that game. Like so, it's like it's no win scenario. Like I could sit here and say, oh yeah, they gotta adapt, or these suits are gonna hurt. No, it's not the suits who's gonna hurt. It's gonna be the developers who's gonna hurt. The one positive is that now you see when shit like this happen, industry wide, you see everybody be like, yo, we hiring, we hiring, we hiring. It's just a giant echo of we hiring, and that's awesome. And a lot of these little guys, like you see in, and I mean little guys, I mean big teams that made iconic games, but then it's like this one guy is a little guy now. He leaves that team, but he's a major player, and he goes and makes his own thing, Cocoon. I'm using that as an example. Came from Playdead, an indie game, made his own thing, Cocoon. Boom, that shit hit big, just like Playdead's games and Game of the Year nominations and all that, awards, season, Darling and everything. Amazing. Did the damn thing. You got guys who left Call of Duty teams and stuff like that who are making their own first person shooters, their own this, their own that. Remember the guys of the Maverick Games who people from Forza Horizon, they're gonna be doing their own thing. Like there's a lot going on. And these studios are gonna need people. And when they find success, I got a feeling that those are gonna be the places that are gonna look at the Nintendos of the world and say, we started this shit together, and I wanna be old, wrinkled, and crinkled and closing the door and you know saying that's it, or passing the torch to whoever. But it's like, yeah, like retiring and saying, all right, we're done, all right, let's just sell the company, we done, our generation's done, new people. And I'm talking 40, 50 years from now. And it's like, because that's basically what Nintendo does. And I think people are going to do that with their indie companies, and they're not going to sell out, and they're not going to sell to a big company. They're going to say, you know what, I'd rather stay small, because the minute that we sell to you, you'll put us out of business. You'll fire all of us, and then say, oh yeah, we only bought y'all for the know-how, for the things that y'all had in your engine and whatever, or your coding, or some bullshit. And then they done. They do this all the time to companies. We see that all the time. I think companies are now going to get smart and say, you know what, it's better to us to be fearful of not being able to hit our company quota, but knowing that, like, if we do, everybody got their job, everybody good, and that's the goal we go towards. And everybody being it together. If we fail, we all fail. It's not something where it's like, yo, we hit. Yeah, let's pop bottles. You can't. You fired. Wait, what you mean? We just made. Like, to me, there's no reason that the guy who worked on. Oh, let me see. I think that I gotta be paying attention to this game. Oh no, this game. I said, like, the guy who worked on what's it called, Spider-Man, and worked on Miles's hair. Or character model. Let's go deep. A character model should be axed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we joke, but now I really want to know. Somebody should find out if the guy in charge of putting the Puerto Rican flag and mistakenly put the Cuban flag, if that guy got the axe. Cause let me tell you, that's just crazy. The whole thing is crazy. Like, yo, man, this is a wild time. A wild time to be a game creator, developer. Like, it's a fearful time. So that's why I say, like, the guys who are independent, yeah, those guys should just stick to their guns, stay small. When you get, if you find success, you make your games bigger, in a sense of, oh, the player could feel that this is a success, so they could feel that we're doing better as a company, but not in a way where, oh yeah, now we're gambling the whole company on this game. No, try to make it in a way where it's like like what Vampire Survivor is doing right now is awesome. They're getting all kinds of bags. They got shows. They got what was the other thing? They did the co-op multiplayer, and now they got the the alien stuff going on, or the alien stuff, the space stuff. It looks like you playing basically like on the meteor rock. It's cool shit, and they being easy with it. They not, oh yeah, let's move on to the next big thing, and the next, like, taking a sweet time with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a sprint, man. It's a race. And I think they're gonna be well off of that. People clown on Hollow Knight, and I'm like, listen, didn't they get the Game Pass bag anyway, right? For Silksong, so they're alright. They doing good. They cooking, and the game is gonna do good. Everybody who bought the first one's gonna buy the second one, almost certainly. And by the time we see it again, it's not even gonna look like. Originally, it looked like, oh yeah, DLC. Then it became a full thing, and now it just became a whole nother thing. Like, and I hope that it's that they're cooking, and it's not like no negative stuff over there, because nobody wants that. But yeah, you seeing that from a lot of indie games. Like, you didn't see them rush to make anything like anything. Like you didn't see them rush to go make. What the hell was I gonna name, yo? It was right there. Oh yeah, like Cuphead. Like they didn't go and say, all right, yeah, now let's go make this giant other thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, they just focusing on whatever or rushing. Nothing. They taking their sweet time. And I think that's good too. Like once you find success, instead of just going crazy immediately, like having the plan, sticking to the plan. Because and this one thing, and I get it, because video games take years to make. So then somebody might come in and go, oh yeah, the person when you started that plan ain't here no more. So I'm here now, canceling this, canceling that, and it's like, yo, how you gonna do me dirty? Like this is something we've been working for 5 years. Oh yeah, I'm not seeing the vision. Well, fuck you. Like you can't come in here and just not. This gotta see its way through because it's been 5 years of development. Then it's all for nothing. Oh yeah, I just don't see like yeah. Or do you play video games? No, but how does like so then why are you talking for? Like, and it's like it's wrong because it's like oh yeah they're the money, so it's like you gotta pander to them. I'm like yeah, but the video game industry they're the most least the usually the money people. If you're not independent, because if you're independent, you're the money, you're the developer, you're everything. I'm saying the ones who it's like, oh yeah, those that's the publisher, those the the fundees. Like y'all don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? So y'all should just throw your money at video games because video games make money, and like everything else you do, which is fucking money, is a gamble. When you go and you play and whatever it is you're doing in Vegas and gambling your money away, or you playing stock market man. You know what I'm saying? And you burning money there. That's the same thing. The investment could be high or it could be low, but you have to see it through because once you put the money in, there's no take backsies, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Especially that much time put into it. Is like see the thing through. That's just the way I see it. But yeah. How long I been going? Damn, Valentine's Day long. 2 hours and 14 minutes. Whew. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Felt like I said a lot. A lot that needed to be said. A lot that really didn't need to be said too. Like talking about Xbox potential rumors. That's not even bothered to entertain. Like, oh yeah, the console. What do you think? Like I already talked about that. About the leak thing. I talked about it when Sarah Bond. I ain't gonna sit here and talk about some made up shit. Lies, fairy tales and all that. Like, come on, man. So I guess this is where I say if you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you're watching this video, please consider liking the video. And yeah, if you want to support even more, consider becoming a patron. It isn't super expensive. It's about, I don't know, 4 quarters just to get up in there. And yeah, basically that's it. I'll see y'all on the next one, man, with some different gameplay. All this gameplay here was basically shooty bang bang. The next one I'll try to give y'all something more interesting for sure. I've been playing a lot of games on Game Pass. Y'all see. But yeah, man, I love video games. I'll just end this by saying that I love video games a lot, and I truly do care about the people who make the video games because I know that thing that I love wouldn't matter. Like you like the way Call of Duty feel, you like the way it bounce when you run and all that. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. That's good. Yeah, you like this shit? Yeah, real people made this. It sucks when they fire the people who makes this. And then when the next game comes out, and I'm gonna say me too, because we're the audience, right? Right. Then we sit there and complain and bitch and nag about every little thing. Oh, why this don't look that good? Oh, why this was better than the other game? Why this was? Because fucking between the last game and this game, they fired half the goddamn studio. That's why games don't. Oh, why this don't got as much features as that? Why these games back in the PS2 generation have more? Well, because they didn't spend 17 hours decorating one character model. I said 17 hours. That's not a big number. 17 months decorating the character model. They actually just was all right. That's the character model. All right, let's keep it pushing. They reuse things now, and like reusing assets. People are like, oh look, oh they cheating, they cutting corners. Nah, they just trying to get you a game that's fun. Is it okay to be fun first, and then all the other shit later, or not even have the other shit later? Like I look at Call of Duty like this, right? And I say, and I get it. A giant chunk of the audience won't play it if the game looked like 13, cell shaded. But imagine you just said we're gonna make cell shaded, so that and I'm cell shaded could be more expensive, but let's just say like an animated thing, less detailed. It's a Call of Duty story, like and it could just be Call of Duty Ghost 2. I mean, I like Ghost. I wish they continue that story. But Call of Duty Ghost, let's say, oh yeah, and it's gonna be a single player thing that's co-op. Like, you and four players could play through this co-op. There's no multiplayer. It just is what it is. Animated, graphic novel style, espionage thing, blam blam blam. Bam, that's it. And what if that thing just sells 5 million? But you made it for cheap, where 5 million would be you making a lot more money back. That's fine. Oh, it's a PlayStation 2 style thing. That's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get why this can't be an option. It always got to be either 1,000 or nothing. No in between. And I think what all of these firings and everything you're seeing now, and oh yeah, games everywhere, I think they're realizing, yeah, we gotta start doing the in betweens, and stop with the super big stuff, and stop the console warring, and stop the. I mean, it has to go both ways. Though. It can't be one way. It can't just be Xbox doing it, because then it looks crazy. It's like not that crazy because they're making money like crazy. Like the game you're seeing right now is making them a lot of money. The 50 million people who are gonna be playing this shit on mobile is gonna make them a lot of money, and Sony don't get no cut of that. Nintendo don't get no cut of that. That's all that Xbox. That's all green money. All that Call of Duty mobile money that's about to come. That's why they bought it. That's how they're like, yeah, we'll give you Call of Duty for 10 years. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be supporting Call of Duty mobile hard. And it's only going to get better and better and better. Like, Fortnite is big on mobile, bro. Call of Duty was already popular on mobile. But this is Call of Duty, like, on mobile. And all my stuff here, all this gameplay you seeing here, when I download it on mobile, all this carry over. This gun right here, matter of fact, that you seeing, in my current gameplay, this gameplay is a little bit old, but in my current gameplay, I think I had an earlier one where I was playing with Rick. My gun was gold. This gun is the gun that I've been using since Warzone started, day one. This weapon, and it's the one I'm still using, upgraded. I still change stuff up on it from time to time, but it's the gun. I change the stickers, the decals, the muzzle, and things like that. But this is the weapon. And it's been upgraded, maxed out forever. And it's like when I play Call of Duty on mobile, I literally have that gun there. This account is there. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to just drive people to be like, yeah, I'm on the go right now. I could play Call of Duty on my phone. It got full controller support. Like they already stated that. And it's Verdansk, which is my favorite, open world battle royale map ever. So I'm like, that game is gonna do crazy numbers, successful like crazy. That's what they doing. It's that Candy Crush. You notice nobody got fired from over there. Candy Crush, yeah, they doing. Yo, the other day I got a message. I don't know, and I don't know what it was. It was like Candy Crush, like get your points off Game Pass, something like that. I'm like, is Candy Crush in Game Pass that I don't know of, or was that like an early glitch reveal? Because I was like, it was pushed like a notification on my phone, and when I clicked it, it took me to nothing. But it was literally like a graphic, a brand new graphic, and I should have snapped it, but I didn't even think about it. And it was like it was like Candy Crush, playable on Game Pass, and get like this many blah blah blah. And it was like it had the perks thing there from Game Pass. So I'm like, oh, I guess the Activision stuff is about to happen. Then they say that they were gonna talk about Activision stuff, but they didn't. So I'm guessing in March, this is what we're gonna get. We're gonna get a roundtable for Activision finally, where they're gonna talk about, yeah, you already knew Diablo's coming, but now you're gonna get all these Call of Duty games, Tony Hawk games, Crash games, all this good shit. Candy Crush is coming to Xbox, and your account will carry over, and blah blah blah. That's what I think is gonna happen. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be good, and I just think I got it like a little leaked, push thing. So yeah, I don't know if that's out there in the world. But I'm not lying. I'm not making it up, and I'm not talking about, some mystical shit. I'm saying, no, Xbox pushed the notification through the Xbox app that was Candy Crush on Game Pass. And when I clicked it, there was nothing. That factually happened. I'm not trying to be Scooper Man, but if it's a scoop, that is a scoop. That shit really happened. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, that's it. I'm out of here. Thanks to Digital Green Tea, Jack Gates, Dark Sun, Navon Wise, Ipster, everybody who tuned in. Everybody who, is going to tune in after on the replay. If you're listening to this on the replay, you got all the way up to here. That means you enjoyed yourself some way, some form. Give it a like, subscribe, share it out. Tell people, yo, this is a pretty damn good podcast. And yeah, that's it. I'm out of here. Until the next one. Peace.